I guess we should clarify that we watched
also,
Urban
we can't
Legend
start talking about this movie just by talking about her boobs. That
right,
can't be the
because
first thing
people
that we
are
say
like, why
about
are they
this
talking
movie.
about Rebecca Gayheart's boobs?
And not the fact that she murdered people?
Yeah.
Spoiler, Jesus.
No, I mean in real life.
Oh, Jesus. She did. That was that was sad.
So welcome to the
Welcome to the Horror Virgin. I'm Clint.
I'm Todd.
I'm Jennifer.
Oh, God.
And in case you haven't picked up yet, we just watched Urban Legend.
Her name is Rebecca Gayheart?
Gayheart.
All right, well, I guess that's a little bit
She's
better.
the Noxzema girl. That's what I always called her.
You don't remember her from... Do
No.
you remember Channel 1?
Yeah, I remember Channel 1.
Okay, did you
That's
you
when I did
sleep?
my homework.
That's when I slept.
Yeah.
I remember there were a bunch of Noxzema commercials with Rebecca Gayheart, and you needed to watch Channel 1 with Lisa Lang. So much information that you didn't remember.
Lisa Lang. Hang on.
I went to a smart school and we didn't watch Channel 1.
Wow.
As part of our day.
Wow.
Okay, so for those of you listening, you're probably just like, where the
What the fuck is
did
this?
Urban Legend come from?
Yeah.
Didn't you guys just watch The
Yeah.
Exorcist?
This is
Well,
her.
we are doing A-list, B-list, A-list, B-list.
Yeah.
That's how we're alternating
And
every...
holy
kinda.
shit.
Yeah.
This
And-
movie is bad.
Well, before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about. Okay, so if you listen to the Exorcist episode, our first episode, we talked a lot about how we were going to do these mini episodes.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then we tried one
and then they're just bad.
Yeah.
they're just bad.
We might play with the format some.
Yeah.
But it was not what we would call up to standard.
It was not.
Right.
It was.
We
a
had a
fun
lot of
time
fun.
for us, but you would not have liked it.
not much
And
meaningful content.
Holy
So
shit.
guess what? Guess what, guys? You're going to get a real episode every week. We're going to watch a horror movie every week.
Oh my God.
And next week we'll do a classic. But this week was Urban Legend.
Uh-huh.
And Jen and I were so happy.
I
and
really
Todd
was.
was not happy.
Honestly, okay, I was not to like. I was more scared in this movie than The Exorcist.
Yeah.
You were.
Because, I mean, there were.
You were
He yelled
legit
several
terrified.
cuss words.
You were
It was
legit
really
terrified.
Here's why I hate this. Like, I can make it through the movies, but I just know, like, when we get on the podcast, you motherfuckers are going to sell me out because every time a jump scare, like a janitor walks by and it plays like the bah, like the loud music, and I'm like, bah!
You jump.
Yeah.
You jump like a
Every
bitch.
time.
Yeah.
Dude, when fucking Tyler came out of his bedroom and walked up, I said that
You were
scared me.
scared. Oh,
Just
and when the
him
AC
walking-
turned on, you were like, ah!
Oh my God. I hate jump scares so much.
To be fair, even though it's during the day again, we turned all the lights off.
We
this
did,
time,
and we closed
it
the-
got pretty
I mean,
dark in here.
It
Like,
wasn't. It wasn't super dark, but yeah, I mean, it was a lot darker than it was for The Exorcist. Not that I just think The Exorcist was not. There weren't many jump scares in The Exorcist, and that's what really, really gets me.
Urban Legend scared you more than The Exorcist. I don't think anyone has ever said that.
Yeah.
It did. It really did.
Yeah.
Fucking Jared Leto, like, ugh.
A movie starring Pacey Witter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although
you
I never watched
more-
Dawson's Creek. I never watched Dawson's Creek, so I have no idea.
Oh,
Well, he has
Pacey.
blonde hair in this, which clearly
Which was pretty
separates him
horrifying.
from Pacey. Yes,
Yes.
that was scary.
And I feel like they were trying to make us think that he was Pacey, but then he was just like an awful, like rapey pasty.
He
Pacey.
was. There are a lot of rapey men
Rapey
in this
pasty.
movie, like Michael
I
Rosenbaum.
think you could just have said there are a lot of rapey men, full stop.
Yeah.
Hashtag me
correct,
too.
Correct. But Michael Rosenbaum
Yeah,
was a
fucking
creep.
Lex Luthor
Yeah.
was a creep in this.
Yeah, as he
And he had
is-
hair. It was super weird.
It was very bizarre. And from the opening of this movie, there are rapey men.
Yes.
Yeah.
A rapey gas station attendant shows up.
I don't know if he was rapey so much as he just stuttered
But
a
he
lot.
was
know,
straight,
guys.
I would like
but
to
he was
apologize for
straight
how
up-
hot fish that was. I don't know, like that was not intended. But yeah, he was trying to help
He was putting his
He was.
hands on her, though,
Yeah.
immediately.
because he didn't have the power of speech, and
Yeah.
he wanted to stop her from getting her head
All
cut
right.
off.
He
I'll
was
give it
trying
that.
to help, but maybe he could have written it down and put it. Although it was raining, I don't know.
For a second, I wanted
be like-
Adam Sandler to be like,
Today,
"Today, Chucky."
Junior. Oh, yeah. Brad Dourif,
Yes,
the voice
yes.
of Chucky.
Although, and I will say this, I did not know that. Clint said that during that scene.
Yeah.
No,
So-
and he's
And-
also killing a girl named Natalie Mancini
Yep.
in the movie.
Yeah, her
after
character
Don
name is Natalie Mancini,
the
yeah.
creator of Chucky.
So apparently there are a lot of like, oh God, Jen just got her notebook.
got my
I
list
fucking
out.
know we're
And
in
now I
trouble.
freaked myself
Yeah.
out. No, there's
Yeah,
just some other ones. I have to say though, I had this whole like thing planned in my head, and I was going to explain to you how rapey all this stuff was.
Yeah.
and I'm very proud of you two both for picking up on it.
Yay, high five, Clint. Yay.
Ladies,
We can
they are
recognize-
single and they are
Listen.
nice.
Let's talk about the
Ladies,
patriarchy.
I will say this really quick. I watch enough Law and Order SVU to know the things I should not be doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't always stop me, though, ladies. No, it does. It does. Stop. Clint just got very uncomfortable. He's like, oh, God.
I will say this.
Yeah, hit me.
I will say this. There are a lot of bad actresses.
Oh, my
Oh my
in this
God!
movie.
No, no,
Did
no.
you say
The men are walking
actresses?
circles around the women. You have to give it that.
No.
I will say yes to that, but only because the two. Sorry, everyone in this photo of Urban Legends,
Yeah,
the
we're looking
redhead, redhead chick, Noxzema girl, and Tara
Reid.
Reid.
Just call her Tara Reid. Everybody knows she's dumb.
She
It's
honestly,
synonymous.
she's been
She
hit on the head
is so
way
bad.
too many times.
Yeah.
She was like dropped on a Sam's Club floor as a child from
Good
like Clark.
Lord.
Like just fell out.
Sam's Club. That is so specific. You could not have gone with Costco.
No, it's Sam's Club because it's like the low rent Costco with the hard they have like hard concrete flooring. Yeah, and it was multiple times.
She's fucking dumb. I met her in person a couple times.
She's fucking dumb. Yeah.
Met her in person a couple times. It was not. She gets worse. She's done a lot of drugs. She really has. So this is probably the smartest she's. Like, this was the same year as American Pie. No, wait, this was before American Pie. Oh my God, American Pie was 99. This is 98.
She did so much good stuff after American
And
Pie.
yet,
Yeah.
she is not the shittiest actor in this movie.
No,
No.
she's not.
No,
That
who-
would be the lead, Alicia
my
Witt.
The block
Who
of
is-
wood with red hair
Oh,
attached
the block
to
of
it.
wood, indeed. And honestly, still hot. I have a thing for red. It's
She's
the worst.
attractive. She is
I
actually
can't
very
help it.
good in other things that I've seen her in, but in this, oh my God.
I think she was in Friday Night Lights. I think she was the mom
that
of
it?
one
Clear
of the
eyes,
later seasons.
full
ones.
hearts. Can't lose.
Okay. I mean, I saw her pop up on Walking Dead. She was great in that. That was recent. Jennifer.
Yes.
Set the stage. It's 1998.
1998.
What is going on
back.
in horror?
Oh, okay.
Horror. Fuck.
Horror.
Every
Horror.
time Clint says
I'm just
horror,
gonna say
Horror.
horror.
it sounds
Yeah,
like
What is
you're
going
gonna
on
say
in
horror.
horror in 1998?
So in 98, so 96, I think was Scream.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And Scream just changed
Just
everything.
yes, it did. It was one of my favorites, and it's so awesome. And then I Know What You Did Last Summer was next, which I think is not as good as Scream.
It is not.
but it's so Scream kind of started this whole meta slasher thing, which is what I would call Urban Legend because it is a slasher.
Urban Legend felt like, and I haven't seen Scream, so forgive me if I'm like way off, but it felt like the young adult grab that people do. So like Scream did really well with the young adult market, so they were like, we got to put anything in production that is sort of like Scream.
Yes,
You're
And
right.
It felt like it was like a copy of that.
Okay, it's funny you mentioned that because after Kevin Williamson sold Scream, they bought every screenplay in the horror genre that he had ever written.
Really?
And they bought
God.
I Know What You Did Last Summer at the same time.
Did he write that?
He wrote that.
Ah.
And so they just immediately put all this shit. The Faculty was another one. They bought The Faculty.
The Faculty.
Which we'll do. I think we'll do a podcast on. The
Yeah.
Faculty's great.
Josh
That's a fun
Hartnett.
watch.
and Elijah Wood. Yeah.
Jordana Brewster. All your
my
favorite
God.
people, Todd. So Scream
yeah.
changed everything.
Yeah, it did. And it like kind of unleashed this whole new kind of 90s horror thing, which I kind of think of as like bubblegum horror, you know, because people still die, but everybody's super shiny, you know, and their hair's all done and it's very like 90s stylish, you know. And like what you were saying earlier, there's really no nudity in this. Like there's the suggestion of a lot of it.
Yeah, and that
there's like
honestly made
lots
me
of like
mad.
It's a little depressing. It's
Yeah.
a little depressing. But we were talking about this earlier. This sort of a section in horror, the late '90s, like Scream had no nudity. This
Yeah,
had no
it
nudity.
didn't.
Scream 2.
So
I Know What You Did
PG-13
Last Summer.
relationship.
Forgive me, who was the female lead in Scream?
Nev
Campbell.
Oh, I would have loved to seen some nudity in Scream then.
There's none, I don't think.
Then why are we watching these movies? I don't understand because this is like I said this during the movie, but this is like watching a porn because in between like the slasher, like the kills, which I know you love, Clint.
Oh, yeah.
It's just bad acting. It's like bad acting in between these kills.
I don't think Scream is bad acting.
I've
No,
never seen a
Scream-
Scream. I mean this.
This oh yeah,
specifically.
this one
yeah,
had
yeah.
some very bad acting, and I don't necessarily think it was just bad acting. I think the screenplay is not very good either.
The Scream movies, all of them, even the worst Scream movie, is much better written than
Yes.
this
Yeah, okay.
is.
This is really fun though. Like this movie has a really special place in my heart, and I love it.
Me too.
It's not great.
It
and
is so
watching it now.
bad.
Okay, but I have a connection to it's like these old movies that you
it's like
remember. and
nostalgic, yeah.
It is. It's nostalgic, and
Yeah.
I like watching it today. I was like, okay, this is kind of
Back when we were better people and hopeful in high school, this movie came out.
Yeah.
And it was.
What is this rated? PG-13?
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude!
What is
There's
it
a
rated?
dead dog in the microwave.
Oh.
Yeah, it
oozing
is R,
out.
isn't it?
You think this is PG-13?
There was no nudity. I assumed it was PG-13.
I think if
have
I
no
said
idea.
dead dog, like we lost like half the.
Yeah.
Clear.
Hey, we didn't write the movie.
We're
This
hoping.
is not our fault.
We are hoping you have already seen Urban Legend. If you're listening
Oh, yeah.
to this, but spoiler
I mean,
alert,
we
dead
already have
dog.
spoiled the entire thing like 10 minutes ago, right?
That is true. That is
Yeah, I
true.
guess we.
Yeah,
and now that
Noxema Girl is
Noxema
the
chick-
killer.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your memory, Jen, of watching this movie?
I
Did you
don't
see it in-
remember
you didn't see it
watching
in
this for the
theaters?
first time, but I can't imagine that I would not have gone to see this in theaters. And
So you went to the Nippers Corner Theater.
I probably
you
went
and
to the
Ryan
Nippers
Phillippe
Corner
went to
Theater.
Nippers Corner
Oh, yeah.
Theater, and then you went out behind the theater and made out afterwards.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I don't remember watching this, but I remember watching this over and over again a
I'm going to
lot
talk
of
about
times.
you and Ryan Phillippe until I get him on this podcast
Okay.
as a guest.
You know, that would be really funny if that became our mission for, like, we don't want any other guests. We just want Ryan Phillippe.
It's like
No,
when,
I
maybe
want
he'll
Stephen
come on at the
King.
show.
So Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch always at the beginning of every improv show they've ever done, they save a seat for Daniel Day-Lewis in the
Oh,
audience,
really?
Oh, my
and then
God.
and then they talk about how like one day he's gonna come and
Yeah.
whatever, and they're like, you know what, he might be here tonight, and they build it up for like 5 minutes. It's like this, and it's like they do it every time, and then like so Daniel Day-Lewis, and don't be a dick, don't say anything, but Daniel Day-Lewis, if you're out there, say something now, and of course no one says anything, and then they immediately go, fuck this guy, he's the fucking
Aw.
worst. Like, so, but it's like a bit they do every time. So
Yeah.
like that's what we should do for Ryan Phillippe.
Well, hey, I
mean,
mean,
do
if
we-
you listen to that Denzel podcast
Holy- yeah.
about Denzel
They
Washington,
got him
and
on
then
it.
he came on the show,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
It's
I mean, it
called-
was like season 2 or 3 that he
If
came
we're
on. but
choosing people to do that too, though,
Ryan,
does it have to be Ryan Phillippe?
Why,
Yes.
why can't it
Yes,
be
it
Jessica
does.
Chastain? Follow me. She's going to be in it, and I love this
Well,
woman.
she
I am
was in
love
Mama.
with this
She's
woman.
been in horror movies before.
Yeah, she
but,
has.
but Ryan Phillippe, come on.
Yeah.
And I bet.
Don't say that like I would rather have Ryan Phillippe in
Did we
studio with
figure
us.
out how to say his name? Is it
I think
Felipe?
it's Phillippe or Felipe.
Felipe?
Who
All
gives
right.
a
Hey,
shit?
Ryan, come on, tell us.
Yeah,
how to say
why
it.
don't you
on
come
down.
teach us
Come
how
on
to say
down.
your name?
I think he was only in one horror movie, so we'll have to.
I know what you did
I
last
know what
time.
you did
Cruel
last summer.
Oh my god! I almost said Cruel Intentions.
You have
That
to
movie
see
is
I've seen
his
Cruel
performance
Intentions.
on I Know What You Did Last Summer because he's screaming in 90% of his lines. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like you'll be talking, it's like two characters talking. They'll be like, so what do you think? He's like, shut the fuck up!
All right, I'm on board for that.
Yeah.
Although I
Yeah.
don't want to see the movie if it's anything like this because this movie was a bad.
Urban
Very
Legend is
sil-
better than I Know What You Did Last
I agree, yeah.
100%.
This is better?
Yeah,
Yes.
because I
This
Know What
is
You Did
better?
I Know What You Did Last Summer maybe has 2 or 3 kills in it. Like this one is at least consistent. It opens up with murder and it continues with the murder.
I just think the story
so
is
mad.
better in Urban Legend, and it's more
Really?
consistently interesting.
Really? You think the
Yes.
story is better
This
in
is-
this movie?
I mean, I think it's a pretty interesting story. It's not executed
Oh,
that
it's
well, but
riveting.
like I love Urban Legend.
It's
No,
definitely one of
it's
those
fun.
movies that continues beyond a 30-minute story because there are no police in this movie. Zero.
Yeah.
None.
Oh, my God.
Zero.
Oh, my
when
God.
murders start happening, the security guard investigates.
Well, and so I read an article that compared that to like colleges covering
College
up rape.
campuses? Oh, so it is an allegory.
Well, no,
It's a
because I
rape
think back
allegory.
then, like they probably were covering up for a ton of rape in the '90s, and nobody cared or knew. But if they made it now, it would have been an allegory. Sorry, why are you looking at me weird?
Clint, is it?
oh, I don't
is it
know
just-
whether
is
this
it me or
is taking a
did
very
she just bring the
interesting
podcast
turn.
way down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I sort of feel like in today's culture, I can't make jokes about what she's saying.
You probably can't or shouldn't.
Hashtag me too.
Thank you.
No.
for
I told
saying
you
it
guys.
that way.
I told you. Not the pound. Yeah. You can't say pound instead
Pound
of
me
hashtag.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I told you guys my Me Too story, right?
No.
I got molested
Is this
at a
the
Shadazy
concert? Yeah, let's not
I
talk-
got
let-
molested at a Shadazy concert.
That's great.
A shadazy.
Is that an
Yes.
urban legend, Todd?
no,
that
it's
was-
not an urban legend.
Isn't that a kind of
It
racist?
really happened to me. No, Shadazy's not. They're like the Dixie Chicks in the early 2000s.
Anywho, so I'm looking at this. We keep looking at the at the DVD cover because it's or the DVD screen menu screen
Like the menu
'cause
screen, yeah.
it's on the whose eye is that in the middle on the because it's
I
also
think
on the
that's Freddie
poster.
Krueger's
It
eye.
looks like David Bowie's.
You did not know who Robert Englund was.
I didn't. I don't know
Yeah.
who any of these. You were like. You told me like that horror royalty was in this.
But
which-
how did you not know? How did you not know who Freddy Krueger was? You didn't know the
I've
name
never-
of the actor
I've
Because he didn't
played
have the
Freddy
hat
Krueger.
on, and
I've
he didn't have his
never
knife
seen
fingers.
any of the Freddy Krueger movies. I know that he exists because I'm aware of pop
Okay,
culture.
so if I showed
but
you a
I've never-
picture
But you
of
didn't know
Freddy,
any-
you
Oh,
would
yeah.
know who Freddy is.
Yeah,
What if we
Freddy's face
showed
is
you
all fucked
a
up.
weird puppet of Freddy that's hanging somewhere? Would you know that it was Freddy?
Is it around me? What is happening?
Right behind you. No, I'm talking about the puppet that's supposed to be in his closet that
I
doesn't
saw-
look
yeah.
at
In
all
the
like
movie,
Freddy Krueger,
yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know.
I was
but-
really excited about that, and it didn't look like him at all.
at all.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was a stretch.
Yeah.
But I mean,
All right.
I don't know. Like, I don't watch. The whole reason we're doing this podcast is because I hate horror movies.
But here's
Clint.
what I think is weird is that you didn't know any of those urban legends either. And those
It
are
sounds
not
like you just
No.
don't pay attention to anything, not just horror.
Listen, Clint. I don't enjoy anything that's scary. So like,
Yeah.
and it's not just horror
Do you
movies.
know any
it's-
real information? Like in life?
I just don't like so like when people would like when you'd go to like camp or whatever and they would tell
Yeah.
ghost stories, I would fucking bone out. I would be like, I'm gonna leave because I don't want to be scared.
Where did you go? Because everybody else, had
Yeah, you
balls and
went
they were
off by
listening.
yourself, and that makes you like the next victim.
I never died.
Well, yeah.
Did you
I
go down to
would.
the lake by yourself?
Honestly, no. Like I would just go hang out with other people. There were other people that were doing other things.
Yeah, but they were weird.
Did you go to the kitchen and eat Jello?
What are you talking about?
No, I choked on Jello as a kid, so I can't.
How do you
gosh.
choke on Jello?
I don't want to talk about
the
this.
fuck is
I don't
happening?
wanna talk about this.
What the fuck
I
is
hate,
happening?
I hate Jello so much.
Okay, but here's the thing, because the point of urban legends
I
is
feel
to
like
like
I'm gonna-
prepare you and like make sure that you don't get trapped and die. You know,
Yeah, because those
like
things
there
that
might be
yeah,
somebody in the
yeah.
back seat of your car.
Clearly.
you know, and you're supposed to check. For
Wait a
that.
second. Are we supposed to assume that Noxzema girl could pick up? Is it Percy? Could pick
Pacey.
up Pacey.
Oh.
Could pick up
I
Pacey.
had issues
and
with this too, and
there's
also
no
with,
way.
Well, here's
There
what
is
I
no way.
here's what I had issues with. On top of that, the shots of the killer. It looks like a 6'4" male. It was a male figure, and then
I don't know. It was slimmer than I would expect, and like it didn't look
Hey,
like Jason.
Some men are skinny. All right.
Oh, I know.
Some men are skinny. Right,
like
Clint?
skinny.
Heyo.
Up top, skinny
High
men.
five.
Woohoo!
Boom.
Nailed it. We are skinny and single, ladies.
I don't know. Am I single? Yeah, I guess I am. All right. Anyway,
Let's analyze
Clint,
that right now.
Do you want to get into that?
hashtag it's complicated.
It is, guys. Very strange.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So, like, for
so,
those of you who don't know
yeah.
what we're talking about, like, she literally.
Okay, so this is
This is the first kill, right?
That the
well,
first
no,
kill,
sorry. It's the second kill, I guess, because the first kill is
is
the
it?
gas station kill.
was at the gas station. So,
Gas
is there anything we need to
station.
cover at the gas station? So, if Brad Dourif, Chucky,
Turn around.
very creepy
Heavy.
Oh,
looking,
my God.
tries to save this girl who's driving in the rain, stops for
Yeah.
gas.
So here's the thing. Like, I wanted to pause it at one point and say, okay, so what should she do? Because the purpose of urban legends is to teach you how to handle these situations and to prepare you when you're in these situations. So would she have been safer getting out of the car or staying in the car?
Getting out of the car. She had a crazy person in
But
the
we
back.
don't know that there's a crazy person in the car, and we don't know that this guy is not crazy. And you could say the same thing when she was in the car with Pacey. Like, was she better off staying in the car with this rapey dude, or was she better off getting out of the car and walking home by herself?
Well, she lived and
What
didn't
should she
get
have
raped.
done?
So I think what she,
She
did was
did.
correct.
She got
yeah.
lucky.
I mean, she
but
should check her fucking back seat. Is what she
what
should do.
should she have done?
No, I don't know.
What was
she
the,
was fucked.
But what
She
was the
fucked.
right choice for her to make?
in that moment?
Yes.
The-
I mean, she was
the gas
screwed
station
either
shit?
way.
Yes.
Yeah.
She should have stayed in the fucking thing with Stutter McStutterton because she would still be alive.
But you
Well,
said
maybe.
he's going to rape her.
No,
Or
dude,
some.
He was
Actually,
very-
you did
yes,
say he's
we
probably
both said
helping,
that
but yeah,
he was,
that's how you get
that
raped.
He was very.
Yeah.
He was being very aggressive with her, and you countered that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
he
how you
has
get raped.
a speech impediment,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
can't get out what he wants
I
to get
felt
out.
bad for him.
But when
'cause
she
that motherfucker
grabbed
got
the
arrested.
mace or the pepper spray, you were like, "Yeah, she's got some brains or something."
Well, yeah, you don't follow someone you don't know as a woman.
That's true. She's got
So she did the,
The
right
problem
thing.
is cell phones didn't exist yet.
yeah, that is
Well,
the problem,
okay.
right?
The problem, though.
Right.
Okay, so here's my point. So we don't like she's fucked either way. That's what you said, right? Like even if there wasn't a killer outside, she'd still have to walk home by herself, which is super dangerous, or she'd have to stay in the car with this rapey Percy dude. So what should
What
she do?
kill are you talking about?
I'm talking about the gas station kill, and I'm combining it with the
Yeah,
Percy
we can't
kill.
combine.
Oh, you're
We're talking about the gas
oh,
station
you said
kill.
Percy too. Pacey.
Pacey. Fuck you.
Todd got
You've
us on a
stolen
Percy.
Pacey
Todd
from
was calling
me.
I never
Pacey
watched
Witter.
the show.
Pacey,
I have a good friend. We've been friends for like life. His last name is Piercy. So like that.
Do you think the
Piercy?
show was called Derek's Creek? Is that what you?
Thought it was Dirks. Dirks Creek.
Okay, so here is my point, and I'm going to try to get to it in a way that makes sense. Okay, so all of these urban legends, the one about the babysitter,
Right.
the one about the high
calls coming from
beams,
inside the house.
Yeah, they're all trying to show women how to survive in crazy situations.
Is that why you love this movie?
Yes.
Hashtag
one reason.
Mewtwo.
Hashtag Mewtwo.
I
That's
thought
what
you were
all
there.
of these urban legends are about. Or they're about showing women how to exist in this world. But there is not one fucking urban legend about like Pacey rapes a guy or girl, and then Pacey rapes a girl and then gets arrested and has
Pacey
to go to
rapes
jail
Dawson.
forever. Like there are no consequences for them. He is just another
That
monster.
motherfucker died.
Well, he did, but
There
we
were some
don't know that yet.
consequences.
So if you pause it right there and he didn't die, like there
Right.
are no consequences for him because he is just another monster. So there's the monster outside, the killer, and there's the monster that's inside. And we're not looking at Pacey as he can do anything to change. He just is a monster. And the women just have to like take their chances and pick the right way.
It's some pretty shitty.
And that's
writing.
what rape culture is.
What just
Is a
happened?
society
What
where
just happened?
We
men
just got mind
don't
fucked.
change.
We
Men
just
are the
got mind fucked.
constant, and women just have to exist in this world, like constantly trying to outguess all the men that are around. And maybe this one won't rape me, and maybe this one will. Boom.
Hey, I mean, you know, she's not wrong.
She dropped the mic. She dropped
I did
the
actually. I
mic.
Actually
hit my
dropped the
knee
mic.
with the mic.
That was
Actually
amazing.
dropped the mic.
All right, so I'm definitely
That
leaving
might have been
part
a
in.
pop. That might have been a pop for our listeners.
It was, but I'm leaving
it was
it
pretty
in.
Sorry.
badass.
That was
on our-
amazing.
Yeah, that
that
was
was
amazing.
awesome. She's like, "Yo, rape culture."
Boom.
Just drop the mic. So
Done.
I'll say this. Maybe it should be teaching women not to go off to the woods in someone's car who who has bleached hair.
Yeah.
And I'm not victim
And is
blaming.
it-
It was, but it was pretty. We all had a really funny reaction. So Pacey comes to
Pacey.
what's his fucking character's name? Who gives a shit?
Damon
Pacey.
Brooks.
Pacey comes. Pacey comes to her dorm room and is like, "Do you want to go somewhere and talk?"
Yeah,
And we're all just like,
they're
"Why can't you
already
talk
in
here?"
the dorm room, sitting on a bed.
And instead, he takes her to the woods, and there is nothing out
Yeah,
No,
it's
there
a
is
parking spot
nothing.
I will
under
say
Murder
this.
Tree.
Spoiler alert: there's a murderer out there.
there. Yes, correct.
But you're right.
But
there
it's
is
a lady murderer, so you know.
It's a
that
herderer.
is true.
It's a herderer.
Wow,
I don't know if that one's going to catch on.
It's definitely
it's a good
not.
title though.
A herderer. I do like this movie because it's a lady killer at the end.
Yeah, she definitely. It's fun watching her pretend to be normal, and then,
Oh my God, and then just going
in the last
batshit
10
crazy at
minutes,
the
it's
end,
like
and-
she has mascara running,
And she's from
is-
Arkansas suddenly.
Oh yeah,
and
the-
goes completely
she
bonkers.
cuts. Oh my God, like
It's the best.
The jumping in and out of the southern accent there towards the end blew my mind.
Thang.
And I
Miss
was watching
Thang.
that performance,
So fucking hard.
and
Yeah.
all I could say was,
Oh my God.
Slow
oh
clap.
my God. The Jared Leto
clap.
slow clap is insane. It is
That was your-
insane.
I've
that was your
forgotten
favorite part
about
of the
that.
movie.
I almost walked out.
Now, was there any second of you that thought that he was in on it with her?
I don't ever try to figure out who the killer is because I just realized that if I can just sit there and enjoy the movie's going to explain
Okay,
it to me. So
yeah,
I never
well,
try.
All right. Well, you have a point. So when the screenplay is shitty like this,
Yeah.
it's kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless to try
Yeah.
to guess who it is. There aren't really any clues in this, but when you watch the Scream movies, they're a lot of fun because they
Yes.
drop a lot of clues.
Okay.
So, but yeah, these shittier ones, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, it's all
Yeah.
confusing and you just stop paying attention. It doesn't matter.
So the first kill was the gas station. Second
gas
kill
station.
was
Pacey.
Pacey.
Wasn't
So
it?
I think before Pacey, we get this sort of extended classroom scene with Robert Englund, and he's going over like the history of urban legends, and of course, it's a coincidence that they're having a lesson on urban legends when
Yeah.
there's a killer running around
That's
doing
what gave
this.
the killer the idea, you know?
Well, no, the killer started.
Well, he was already
before.
doing it before the-
I'm
Maybe
sorry.
she looked at-
he.
maybe
I'm
she
sorry.
looked-
He was already doing it.
Okay, so
it
that's
was a
why
herderer.
I kept looking at you weird and laughing because
I
you
knew that was
said
something about that.
she
What?
couldn't have gotten Percy all the way
No,
up
I thought
there.
I said
and then you
he.
quickly, no, you
Oh,
changed. I
did
think
I
you said
change
she
it?
first,
Oh,
and then
my
you changed
bad.
it. And I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to.
I
was
swear to God,
specific.
I heard him
That's
say
why
he.
I thought I had said he, and you looked at me weird, and I was like, "What?" I said he. I
But the
almost said that
first
to
time
you.
you said she.
I honestly thought he said he. I missed that completely.
Really? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Urban Legend Month on campus or something, right? Like
She looked
everybody's
at the
talking about
syllabus
urban
and she
legends.
was like, "This is when we're going to talk about urban legends. This is when I'll start my killing spree." She was planning.
okay.
Women
not
plan
bad.
things.
Not bad.
Women playing things.
Uh huh. That's I'll buy that.
Oh my
I'll buy
God.
that. But like
Also,
Michael,
she probably tried to coincide it with the massacre thing.
Yeah, because there was a 30-year
right,
anniversary of
all
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
But Michael Rosenbaum and Robert Englund, like everybody's talking about urban legends before
Can
they
I-
even know these murders are happening.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Michael Rosenbaum looks like he would be the world's biggest douche IRL. I don't know anything about him. He has touched me before, but I don't know anything about him.
At that Shadazy concert.
No, yeah. It was
Seriously,
Michael
how many times
Rosenbaum.
have you been touched inappropriately?
No, I mean honestly, we went to Metropolis, Illinois for like
Right.
they have like a
Yeah.
Superman thing, and during the Smallville run, he was one of the special guests, and we got there super early, and we were like right by where you would walk up. And I didn't realize that he had walked up behind me to get on stage, and he was like tapping me on the shoulder, like, "Hey man, watch out!" I was like, "What?" And it was him. He just walked up. I was like, "Oh shit, sorry."
Was he bald or did he have hair?
He actually had hair because he
Yeah.
was filming. There was some movie that he did. I can't remember what it was, but he was. I remember in the movie
it
he
Urban
wore
Legend?
drag. No,
He looks evil as shit on the poster.
He does,
Good
yeah.
Lord.
he looks like he's
the killer.
raped before and will again.
Well, all the men look like they're killers in this. Look at Pacey.
Well, Jared Leto's
No,
eyes are a little bit
not
too close
Jordan.
together.
Yeah.
I think his eyes might be too close
I think
together.
if you look, you know how like sometimes actors will have a secret, and like that's
right,
they have like
right.
an acting secret or whatever. I feel like Jared Leto's in this movie he really just wanted to ask in every scene, are my eyes a little bit too close together?
You know,
He
it's
looks
it's
like
funny you
that all
mentioned
the
that.
time.
So when you watch the Scream movies, like the Scream movies were always shot with the actors not knowing who the killer was. Like the
Really?
last
I
10
had heard
pages
that.
were
Really?
always
Wow,
So
okay.
you can see like when you watch maybe like Scream 2, you can see Jerry O'Connell thinks he might be the killer, and that's how he's playing his part.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying if he is or not. I'm just saying
I can't remember who
the
killer in that
actor
movie is.
clearly thinks this movie is going to end with me being the killer, and so he's just super creepy in a lot of scenes. You know, there are a lot of people that play
Yeah.
it like Timothy Oliphant's also in it.
my
All the
God.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
and he plays the same way. Like everything is creepy. But anywho,
Jordan Catalano is what I'll always call him. But yeah, he always kind of feels like he's giggling.
I don't know who Jordan Catalano is.
Okay, so for all the ladies out there that watched My So-Called Life, Jordan Catalano is Mr. Dreamboat, and he's in this movie, but he's weird in this movie.
What?
Jared Leto.
really, because I think
Oh my
this is the
God.
most
Took you forever to say his name. I was like, who the fuck are we talking about?
You know what? It's all relative because I think this is the most normal movie and the most normal role he has ever had.
But
He's
he
still
does not
weird in
pull
it.
off normal.
He can't. I don't.
Because I
think he
feel like
can.
he's like giggling behind his eyes. He's like, ooh,
Yeah,
just
like-
trying. My crazy is
I
trying
don't
to
feel
break
like he's
out.
giggling.
And I,
I feel like
can't
he's very
He's
self-conscious about the
wondering
space
his
between his eyes. I really do feel like
Listeners,
he's like
Todd said that 10,000 times while we were watching the movie.
it's fucking funny every time
I,
because he looks like it.
I'll tell you the biggest problem I have with this movie. It's too the setups are too elaborate for just one person.
That's
right?
the problem you
So
have with this
well,
movie.
that's my biggest
Yeah.
problem. with
No,
the movie.
I agree. It is very orchestrated.
Right. It's like there's a part
Look,
where
you say women plan.
Pacey gets
Well,
out of
that's
the car.
true. They do plan.
Pacey
She
gets out
probably
of
has a
after
list.
trying to basically rape this girl. Pacey gets punched in the face.
I do love that.
And then he gets out and goes to take a whiz, and within 60 seconds, this killer somehow has come along, snatched him up, tied
Yeah.
him to a tree.
Yeah.
She's got
and
righteous anger, the power.
I guess so. Or
Yeah.
all those Noxzema chemicals.
I mean, ladies are strong.
I'll say this.
I'm
So,
not saying
like
they're
Casey
not.
out.
I'm
If
just
you-
saying the time factor, not the strength factor.
Yeah.
Like,
now, Clint, I'm not trying to insinuate that you've ever done this, but if you
Why don't you just
drove
ask
a
me?
woman into the woods, tried to
I have
rape
done
her,
this. No, I have not
No,
done
you
that.
have not done this.
Okay.
Calm down. Let me
Not-
finish. She punches you in the face.
also happened.
Your your next line of thinking is not going to be like, you know what I'm going to do? Leave the keys of the ignition and then get out of the car.
Yeah, it was very
Which
weird.
is so dumb.
he was
I mean,
just-
I'm not saying he should have done any of those things.
He
to
was just
begin
kind of
with.
like, I'm going to go take a piss. I'll be right
I'm going to
back.
go piss. Don't leave me. Like the first thing I would do if I was her, it would be drive away.
Well, so the
Oh, drive
urban
his car
legend
away.
Yeah,
for
because, like,
that.
yeah. Why would
Yeah.
you stay?
Well, there are no cell phones, so he would really
Who
be in
cares?
trouble.
He tried to rape
Well,
you.
he did. Okay, let's dial it back. He didn't actually. We say that kind of
I
as a
guess.
joke. He didn't actually. He came on to her.
He didn't get
She punched him
super
in the
forceful,
face,
yeah.
and then he backed off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, so the actual
I'm sure
urban
Dawson
legend
would have
is
been
that they
worse.
ran out of Don't you talk about Dawson.
You watch your fucking mouth.
Wow, I hit a nerve.
Dawson Leary.
I don't know anything
It's my
about this
spirit
show.
animal. You better be careful.
Which one was Dawson?
Dawson was
Who
the
played
awesome
her?
one.
James Vanderbeek.
Is Dawson's a dude? Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
God, where
Holy
have you
shit!
been?
Dawson would have treated her
Holy
like an
shit.
angel. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Oh my god!
Do you
Yeah.
understand?
I want to
Okay.
apologize.
This is not the Creek.
Yeah. Pacey was so much nicer on Dawson's Creek, too.
Did they like? Were they like a couple? Like what was?
What,
Pacey
Dawson
and
and
Joey
Pacey?
ended up together.
And Joey's a girl.
Joey's
Joey's
a girl.
This,
Katie Holmes.
Oh, you mean Jamie Foxx's new wife?
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't think they're officially together, though.
I think they're getting married.
Okay, but so the actual urban legend, they run out of gas, and so the boyfriend has to go fill up the gas tank. And the
Well, that makes
girlfriend-
sense.
And she
Right.
falls asleep, and then she wakes up and she hears like scratching, and it's his fingernails scratching on the top of the car.
All right.
And then there's the other one where they go to Lover's Lane, which. What the fuck is a Lover's Lane? Do we have Lover's Lane?
No, because it's not 1950s.
Because it's not a
But
Yeah.
this is what I asked you. Did they actually say Lover's Lane in this movie?
I don't
or
think
what?
they
He was
did,
just
but-
taking her to the
He was
woods.
just
It
taking
was
her to
weird.
the murder tree where they park under make out.
You mean the
but
herder
so-
tree?
I'm sorry, the herder tree. But so the other urban legend with this is the Hook Man, and he's escaped from the mental institution, and he's
Which one of these was the Hook Man? I don't remember that.
the Hook Man's not in this one. But
That's
so
I Know What You Did Last Summer, which
Yes.
is also loosely based on
Okay,
an urban
okay,
legend
okay.
that she's talking about.
right.
Okay.
So what they're like making out, and on the radio it says there's an escaped mental patient from the prison that's like right next door to Lover's Lane, and so the girl is all scared because she doesn't want to get murdered, and she tries to get the guy to take her home, and he's mad because she won't have sex with her, so he pulls out really really fast, and then they get home and they
Sometimes I have to pull out really
Okay.
fast.
Yeah. I
Snakes on
almost
line, you
said
gotta pull out really, really
Sorry.
fast.
because he's going to say something.
He drives away really, really fast. And when they get home, they notice the hook on the door handle because he drove away so fast it pulled the hook off of his hand.
Unless
Those
it's
are
the
the
movie
urban
Hook,
legends.
and then
So
the
does
hook
Dustin
is already
Hoffman?
the door handle.
Does Dustin Hoffman ever show up later?
No, but
like,
Tony Todd
to
does.
get his who the.
Candyman.
Todd.
I don't
for
know any
fuck's
scary
sake.
movies.
I
went
know
with the
what?
Hook reference because Captain Hook is played by Dustin Hoffman. It was solid.
To be perfectly
I hate you
honest,
both.
that scene in Hook terrified me as a child.
What scene in Hook?
The scary scene where like you don't actually see Hook come and kidnap the children, but he comes and kidnaps the children, and it's storming. You don't remember any
I
of
haven't
this?
seen Hook.
People, all right, that's a different podcast. My Hook podcast,
Your Hook spinoff.
which is going to happen.
We've got about 5 different spinoffs planned.
That one's going to be called the
Once-
Hook version.
We came up with a sex podcast
Once we
earlier.
actually launched this.
That one is solid.
Sex Sounds
That one
podcast.
is solid.
Pacey's dead. She sees him crash into her windshield. She runs back on foot to a police station.
No.
No.
To a
She's
to a
dumb.
nearby town.
No, because apparently there are no towns.
Nothing exists outside.
Yeah.
This is like the village.
There's
Nothing
a Maine
exists.
license plate at one point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're in Maine
they're
somewhere.
In Maine,
They don't
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
What is it? Templeton? Is that the name
But
of the
Pendleton.
school?
Pendleton.
Pendleton.
Oh, okay. And so the Pendleton motto, translated in Latin, is the best friend did it. That's the Pendleton
What?
motto. It's on the seal.
What?
Yeah.
That was
What?
That was clever.
That was one of my things.
That was clever.
Also, Brenda Bates. Her
Wait, wait,
last
wait, wait.
name is Bates.
Do you speak Latin?
I know. I got that from BuzzFeed.
Every doctor who's I hate you so much. That's a callback to the fucking mini episode you guys will never hear.
That is true. That is true.
When we've been
It was
Maybe in
hilarious.
season 5, we have
when we've been
nothing
doing
else
this 5
to.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she
my
runs. She runs to the sweet and warm embraces
Of Divine, right?
of
Is it Divine?
Loretta Devine. I think is her real name, but Reese.
She's fucking watching Jackie Brown
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With
You were
her-
shaking your
Pointing
head
her
like,
gun
with
at
her
the two-
goddamn
Yes,
gun out,
yes.
finger on the trigger.
Hey,
Yes.
Why
she
does she
saved the
have a
day.
gun?
well, sort of.
Does she save the day?
Well, she really
yeah.
saves the day in the second one, which we'll get into. But
How?
yeah,
She shoots Brenda.
yeah.
I know.
So she's obsessed with Pam Grier, and
But
and
clearly,
all of
Jared
Pam.
Ice too
Jared
close. Leto
Leto
saves the day with his
okay,
fucking
and that
stupid
pisses me
slow
off
clap.
because he's
Oh,
so.
are we getting into this yet? Journalism boy.
And
No, he's so annoying, and I hate the final girl in this one. But I don't need my final girl to need any help from a man.
That's true.
Okay, technically he tries to help, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he
I-
almost gets her killed all over again.
Okay,
quite a
Clint,
couple
you
of
have
times.
told me before that your plan, if there's any kind of shit with some kind of hostage situation, that your plan is to pretend to be crazy.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I imagine it looking like when you do this?
Okay, well,
If you don't start out with a slow
I
clap,
have to start off with a slow clap.
you
but
will get shot.
I'll tell you why.
immediately.
I'll tell you why I abandoned my old plan and then went with the crazy. My original plan for 10 years when shit went down is to get a weapon and sit down in a corner that has no windows up against two walls, right? In a
Right.
corner. And then The Strangers came out. And a character did that, and it did not work.
I don't know what the fuck we're
Well,
talking
You're
It
about.
not ready
worked
for The
for-
Strangers. The Strangers is like the final season for you.
I'm not sure I'm ready for this. Like, this movie scared me.
Yeah, it did.
So you're not going to be
It
able
was
to
funny.
handle The Strangers.
My plan
Anyway,
for when shit goes down is
Okay.
to pull the paper cutter thing off of a paper cutter.
in slow motion, though.
Whack
It has
shit
to be in
with it.
slow
Yeah,
motion.
and I got to put my foot up on it.
You know, he actually doesn't really get things done with that.
Cuts the
when I
fingers
went
off?
back and
Yeah.
when I went back and
There's
watched it again.
in Cabin in the Woods.
What
they
are we
talk
talking about?
Sorry,
We're just going off and
We're talking
making
about
our
the
horror
faculty now,
references.
sorry.
The faculty. There was an epic shot that was the biggest trailer shot where shit goes
Josh
down in a
Hartnett.
classroom, like a science classroom, and Josh Hartnett goes over to the paper cutter and just rips off the blade in slow
What happened to
motion.
Josh Hartnett post Lucky Number 11?
I just watched that movie recently.
He,
not
well, he
bad.
was
What is
on
the
Penny
show?
Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful.
I fucking haven't
A
seen
horror
that
show.
show.
There's
Of course, I
you
haven't
probably
seen
like
that
it.
show.
There's a lot of nudity in that show.
Ooh, you had me at
From
theirs.
Josh Hartnett. Some
Oh,
say
yeah,
we're
I would.
twins.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
So who else dies in this shitty movie?
All right.
Okay, well, Tara Reid dies.
Oh my God.
We're not to her yet. Are we missing somebody?
Who are we missing?
well,
No, I don't think we are.
Well, the dog thing happens, but even before the dog
Yeah.
thing, I mean, that's like halfway through the movie. So,
no,
the
oh.
roommate. We
Yes,
skipped
the
over
roommate.
Oh,
Yes, and that is
yeah.
one of my favorite urban legends. The aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?
And that's like a real urban legend that wasn't made up for this movie?
Yeah,
I've never
there
heard
are
of
lots
that
of
shit.
different versions of this. Hey, if you ever want to waste like 5 hours of
I
time
don't.
and totally freak yourself out, you should
I don't
go
wanna
to
do that either.
Snopes.com.
I love Snopes.
because it has all. Well, there's a whole horror section.
Yeah, whenever my uncle posts shit on Facebook, I always go to Snopes first because
you?
yeah, because he
I've never
posts shit
looked-
from like Red State Watcher and shit like that.
Yeah,
that
See,
are like
I haven't used Snopes for anything like that.
satirical. Oh, it's great.
But what they have is like all these lists of all these urban legends, and then they like debunk them or they talk about where the origins came from or the different variations.
That's
of
kind of
them.
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
really interesting. I was sitting at my desk and just wasting
Working?
time. Yes, I was working. No, it was after my work was over. It had gotten dark because I was reading these things for so long, and I got really afraid that there was something under my desk, and then I had to peace out. But I freaked myself out with Snopes.
Have you guys ever been somewhere and like something that you could probably explain by like wind blowing or whatever
It's never the wind.
happened, and then instead of like walking to your car, you run to your car
Yeah,
like
and you
a
lace your
goddamn.
keys between your fingers.
Oh yeah,
And that happens a lot.
I do that often.
Almost
Yeah.
every time I'm in a parking garage.
Well, that's the point
Yeah.
of
Crazy
urban
shit like that
legends.
happens.
And I was reading Don's Macabre by Stephen King about urban legends and about scary stories, and they were like, "Yeah, it's never the wind. That's the point of these is to show you that it's not the wind, or it might not be the wind, and you need to protect yourself."
So,
this is terrifying.
the goth roommate is played by Danielle Harris.
I don't know who that is. You kept talking
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, I-
she,
in theory, no.
even over Robert Englund,
Right.
even over every other actor in this movie, she is a legit, like, her career is cemented in horror. She was
More
a little
than
girl
Robert
in Halloween
Englund?
4 and 5. She came back for Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2.
Not
And
more than Freddy
What's her name?
Krueger.
Danielle Harris.
yeah, well, she's a horror filmmaker on top
Hmm.
of actress. So then she started starring in the Hatchet sequels. Then she moved on to write and direct horror movies.
She was also Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
That's right, she was.
Also technically
Man,
horror.
Yeah.
So
Oh wait, she was in the Halloweens.
you know what?
Todd is
Oh,
hilarious.
man, I did that
October-
just for your fucking face.
in
That was
October,
amazing.
We're going to show you some of the Halloween sequels, and you're going to be like, who the fuck is this little girl?
I've only seen Halloween 1, 2, and then the Rob Zombie ones.
oh, shit.
Oh, and
you've seen
H2O.
H2O.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I
you haven't
love
seen
H2O.
Resurrection?
She was in an episode of The West Wing.
I haven't seen a lot.
Okay, so typical goth chick, and this is written
No,
so
super bitchy goth chick.
very,
like very
bitchy,
inconsiderate
and
roommate.
all she's listening to is like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, and I don't feel like goth people are that
trying
bitchy.
trying to get fucked by rando goth dudes.
Oh, just completely
that she doesn't
like,
know.
All she does is get this. This was confusing to me. It has to be some sort of like AOL Instant Messenger, but just for the college network,
it's
like her campus network.
It's like the Facebook.
Yeah. And she gets on there and she's like
Pendleton's
looking
the
for
Facebook.
goth dudes for like hookups.
Literally, just come by
Yeah.
and fuck me. Like
we
when
must
we
be
first
on the
meet her.
same dark path. Is what
Oh my
she
God.
typed.
When
I wanna
we
be-
first meet her, the main block of wood with hair, with red hair, walks in, and she's like getting BD'd
He
by
is
some
on
dude.
a dark path at
Yeah.
that moment.
She's
Yeah,
like,
he's-
turn the fucking lights off.
He's in a dark path.
That's what
Yeah.
I said.
So she's
Gross.
she's getting railed, and
she
you know,
is.
and then the next night she's back at it on the computer, like, hey, I
Yeah.
need some more.
Yeah,
Some more, whatever.
once you've had
Wants
the
to come over.
strange.
I mean, she was asking for it. You
Yeah.
know?
And
Oh
all
my
it takes is
God.
like somebody's talking to her.
Oh
on there
my
for-
God, that's a
yeah.
trap, Clint. Don't buy into it.
I'm not.
That's a trap.
I tuned it out.
Don't do it.
Tuned it out.
Don't walk down that road, Clint.
Instincts.
She was asking for it, right, guys? Right? Right? Fall into my trap. I'm not falling for that shit.
Anyway,
Oh,
she was a smart woman, and
Yeah.
So anyway, it's pretty much like a replay of that first scene where you first meet her, except this time she's getting strangled by the murderer.
yeah.
Right,
Who
right,
is a
yeah,
lady?
Ooh, listen, I'm super into it. Actually, don't like lesbian stuff. It's weird to me. I don't understand that kind.
yeah,
No, but I mean, I do think that there is a lesson in like sleeping with randos that you don't know.
Sure.
Well, you
Not
know, you and I
allowing
talked about
roommates
this.
to turn
You and I
lights
talked
on.
about this during the movie. There used to be these red flags in '90s movies that made you a bad
yeah.
person, and one of them was sex. Another one was if you're on any kind of antidepressant.
Oh, and she was
you
doing both.
are
She was manic
crazy.
depressive, they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Which
she was
now
on
you just
lithium,
say
and she found her
bipolar.
lithium bottle. She's like, "Oh my god, she's really
Yeah.
fucked up."
And she
She's on
painted her
lithium.
walls black, which is just a dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
And she didn't
Turn
wear
the
pants.
lights off.
She didn't wear pants.
Yeah. Okay. So she's on her little AOL Messenger thing,
It's like Craigslist just for Pendleton.
right? She basically asks.
PendletonHookups.com.
She basically just sends out a message to everyone. I guess
Yeah.
is like looking
Any
for anyone,
gothies.
any gothies
Yeah, it was
out there.
GOTHIE.
Yeah.
With like a
Gossip.
little
yeah.
heart over the eye.
And so he's
it?
like,
Oh, okay. I
the-
was like, oh my God.
which I guess she's talking to Rebecca Gayheart. Rebecca Gayheart's like, I'm close by.
Yeah.
And she's like, here's
What room
here's
are
my
you
room
in?
number.
And then she goes to freshen up in the bathroom.
And
she
then comes back and the
message
response
says
And then all caps,
is
yours.
and she's
Yeah.
all freaked out. And I'm like, well, you just kind of told her.
I know.
Where
Hey,
you,
Yeah.
where
Did
you
she give her
were.
the room number? Yeah.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, so like I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. It's down to Pound
Let's
Town.
do it.
But no, she's
Down
Do you
to
have your pants off?
Pound Town.
Oh,
Did you just pull that out of your ass?
I guess I don't know.
Wow.
Did I say that?
Down to, did
pulled
you
it out
say
of
that and then
Pound Town.
black out? Is that what happened?
I
You
don't
have
know.
no
I'm, so in
recollection of it?
I'm in the zone so much. I have no
Down
idea what I'm
Pound
saying.
Town.
Pound Town.
Down to Pound Town, babies. DPT.
And he is single.
I am single, ladies. Did I just say that really?
Yes, you did. Wow.
All right, cool. I'll take it.
I'm
And
gonna
that's
set
pretty
up,
much
I'm gonna
what
set up
happens,
a
right?
Tumblr page called Down to Pound Town.
I think we just titled the episode too.
Oh my God. So yeah. Anyway, they're down to Pound Town.
Yeah. Okay. Why would anybody think that that is a suicide? Too. How would
I was
you
very confused by
slit
that,
your
too.
wrists
So-
and use paintbrushes
Right.
while
so
not
she
like
basically,
splattering blood all over the place?
So wait a second. So she strangles her first, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
gets on top of her, strangles her.
Yes.
The lead in the movie, Alicia Witt, comes in. She thinks they're having sex.
Which, in all
She is-
fairness, it sounds
Yeah.
like what was
It
happening before
does.
when she came the first time.
I thought
Yeah.
this was still a clever scene.
Oh, yeah, I
not
do, too.
everything is clever in this movie. Almost nothing is clever in it. But
There
I
you go.
liked.
No, I
scene.
do, and I feel like they'd set it up to make it believable. I just,
She was yelling at her for like, "Hey, you need to turn off
Yeah.
the lights." So she turned off the lights and immediately took her clothes off, got into bed, which was weird.
well, and
Just got
yeah,
into bed very quickly.
Yeah.
Put some Alanis on.
Was it Alanis?
I don't know.
I thought
saw
it was
the
like
CD.
Sarah McLachlan-y kind of. Yeah. No, it was not Alanis. Paula Cole, maybe.
That is not.
okay.
That is not McLaughlin.
That's Paula Cole. That's from Dawson's Creek.
Oh, I know. I just
Which also that song makes an appearance in this movie.
it does.
Which is
when,
probably the best joke of the whole movie. Yeah.
Well,
are there other jokes?
There are
in
some
the
other
movie?
funny parts.
I think
don't know if
anything
they're
Tara
intentional
Reid
jokes.
says.
Oh my God,
Under the
we're gonna
guise
have to
of
talk
being
about
an
Tara Reid.
actress.
I don't
We're
know
gonna
if we're
get to
ready
her,
for
yeah.
Tara Reid yet.
Oh,
But I got a
God.
lot of thoughts
Yeah.
about Tara Reid in this movie.
So getting it out of the
And-
way,
and in
Alicia
general.
Witt is just atrocious in this. I'm sorry. I you know.
Yeah, she's pretty
hope she's not
bad.
listening. But you
Hey,
know,
come
she-
be a guest on the podcast.
If you still have red hair, call me.
Yeah. She can't even walk or run right.
Oh, my
which,
God.
Which Tara Reid can't either.
There's one scene where she's running away from the camera and her knees are going way too high.
And
like
her
she's
hands
like, I know. It looks like she's running towards a gay pride parade because she's late.
That's not what came to mind when I watched her running. I just thought she'd never run before.
It does look like an alien who would watch one episode of like a running like a documentary and then
Is
like
this how humans run?
yeah, like oh, I probably could do that.
So getting back to the goth being murdered, what?
Yeah.
So she makes it. She tries to make it look like suicide, but then she writes this message on the wall.
Aren't you glad you didn't
"Aren't you
turn
glad
out
you
the
didn't-"
light? Yeah.
Or turn on the light.
Turn on the
Turn
light.
on the
Yeah,
light. Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Now this comes. This is the first point in the movie where there is an actual body, right?
Yes.
No, the car scene at the beginning, there was a
I
body.
Well, there's a
guess that's
body
true,
that
yeah.
the audience sees, but like as far as the other characters go, because like when Joshua so the body of Joshua Jackson disappears,
Yes.
and then the friends say, "Oh, well, you didn't know this, but he's going on some ski trip. I'm sure he played a prank and then he disappeared," which is totally something normal that people do.
Yeah.
And now there is an actual
Go on ski
body.
trips all
Yeah.
the time.
There's an actual body, and the cops are not there.
No.
No, it's a security guard and the dean.
The paramedics are there
Yeah.
to take the body, but the security guard Reese is the one questioning everybody.
Yeah.
And
How
you're
would-
just like, what?
How would you like your one credit to be? The bitchy chick who says, "You may want to check her pulse. She always looks like
Yeah.
that." When the paramedics are wheeling her body out.
Which may or may not have been Katherine Heigl. We need to look
I'm
that
pretty
up.
sure it's not Catherine.
Because it looked like
Heigl.
it just
Definitely had
sounds
a
like
Kath-
something Katherine
it does.
Heigl
It
would
does
say
sound like
Jennifer.
something she would say, and she has blonde hair. So
It sounds
Honestly-
like something Izzy would say, and
The only good Katherine Heigl movie is My Father the Hero.
Bride of Chucky, sir.
I've never seen that.
You need to
seen it
just
either.
My
and
Father
Knocked
the
Up was
Hero is a
good.
great movie. It has my favorite Gerard Depardieu line.
And 27
Depardieu.
Dresses, guys.
I haven't seen it.
Oh
I do like
my
all the
God.
dresses.
Gerard Depardieu goes to pick up Katherine Heigl, who's like 14, and like from his ex-wives, and like the dog comes running up to Gerard Depardieu, and he goes, "Oh, you want to come with me? I do not blame you."
Did you just want to do your
Let me get
Gerard
this. Let me get
Depardieu
this straight.
impression?
I'm just gonna.
Solid
I'm just gonna.
Gerard
That is a pretty
process.
good one.
I'm processing this. You didn't know who Freddy Krueger was,
Right.
But you know lines from My Father, the Hero.
Yeah,
Okay,
Life
just
choices.
clearing it up.
bro.
Right.
Just clearing
I
it
don't
up.
watch horror movies
All right.
because they're bad and they're scary.
What
But are
other
they-
Gerard Depardieu movies can you quote? Can you quote Andre? Wasn't he in that the Dolphin movie?
I don't know if he was an Andre,
Wasn't
but
he in 1492?
yes.
Conquest
He
for
said-
Paradise.
Yeah. That this
I'm
is
sorry.
America.
You know
Conquest for
the
Paradise.
you know the subtitle.
Fuck
He was
yeah, man.
also Porthos in fucking
Yes,
That's probably
he
the best thing he
was.
ever
the
did.
Man in the Iron
Yeah.
Mask, and my favorite line from that is forgiveness. Which,
Forgiveness.
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I fucking love
Yeah.
that. Athos,
I have watched
Athos
that.
is praying, and he goes in there just like crop dusts him,
Oh,
and
God.
he's like forgiveness.
Doesn't he like hook up with all kinds of women in that
Oh,
movie
yeah.
too?
Well, yeah,
He's,
but
like
that's,
the
but that's
sexy
Porthos
one.
in every.
Oh
that's
yeah,
Porthos in the
Porthos
book.
is down to pound down in like
yeah.
every movie.
But the best is he tries to kill himself multiple times.
Oh
and
yeah,
he fails.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they saw the beam and that. Yeah. Anyway, Man in the Iron Mask, solid.
I like that movie.
Solid fucking
I'm a
movie.
fan.
Yeah.
I
I'm a fan.
cry every time they're cornered
And he
and
takes
they
the
run
mask off.
around and start running down the hallway towards the
Okay, well, that's
Musketeers.
just- that's-
I
you're
cry
getting out of hand there.
every
No.
time. I am single, ladies.
It's a goosebumpy scene, but I don't know about.
Oh,
crying.
I cry every time.
I always think about the time, like how all his hair is all over his face and that mask.
Oh,
and,
gross.
like, how he
Yes.
could
Yeah,
eat
when he
and
looks
stuff.
like Teen
Oh, yeah.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But I do like Leo.
He's just not shaking as much.
So okay, so Goth Girl gets killed.
Yeah. We've been on Goth Girl for like the last 30
Yeah,
minutes. I
but
feel
that
like.
is probably my favorite one.
That's the best one.
Favorite
other
sequence
than
in the movie.
well, no, I shouldn't. I think the most ballsy scene is the dog in the microwave, but it's not my
Yeah.
favorite scene because it's really horrible to watch. But
Fucking hate that scene, man.
this movie has some balls. I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean-
forgot about it. It's
For a '90s movie to do the dog in the, I almost said something else.
Yeah.
To do for guys out there, Google dog in a bathtub. For
Ooh.
the guys out there, the dog in
do
the.
not do not
Yeah.
do that.
Do you know what that is?
no.
No,
Google
don't tell
it.
us. Okay,
Google
Don't
it right
want
now.
to.
Moving on.
The dog
Is
in the
it-
microwave scene is gross.
Is it like a true crime thing? Because there's
No.
some really disturbing
No, it is
stuff
not.
with that.
It is a.
I feel like we are
sexual
losing
thing.
listeners.
Yeah.
by the second.
I apologize.
Every
That's
time we
okay.
talk
Todd's
about
going to
this.
edit.
I am so sorry.
No, he's not. We edit nothing.
This stays in, Jennifer. I'll probably edit it out because my mom might listen to this.
Okay.
Yeah,
it
that's
would be horrifying if my mom.
yeah, my mom.
My
would never be
mom. My
listening.
mom. This is the person who, when we played Cards Against Humanity, I got to
Oh,
hear.
You can't play that with your
I
parents.
got to hear my mom say, "What's a taint?" It was the best.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right,
I'm gonna have to
so
edit all this
no-
stuff
Should
out.
have known better than to play that game with your parents.
No cops in this. That makes me think of Cable Guy. No cops in this movie. Reese asks maybe like 5 questions, and she's like,
Yeah.
well,
Reese
I'm
is the
good.
security guard. Sorry.
She's the security guard. She has like a little
She
notepad.
asks, "Did you know she was manic depressive?" And that's it.
And they were
Like-
like, well, clearly she killed herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this totally bizarre way that nobody would kill themselves.
And then painted-
actually be able to do it. Like she didn't choke herself because surely there would have been marks on her.
Yeah.
And then like cut her wrists and then orchestrate the paintbrushes and like climb up on a ladder.
Good.
Yeah, we got to talk
Lord.
about Tara Reid because that bitch is dumb. Like I
Hey,
can't.
hey. Doesn't make her a bitch.
No,
She is dumb.
Well,
that's true.
She is
No.
quite dumb.
This
She-
is a gender
She was
term.
actually pretty nice in this movie.
So-
So she's a very, how do you describe her?
a
She's
shock
she's
jock.
a shock-
She is a
yeah, she's
female
ditzy
Howard Stern
shock jock.
who's an idiot.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here is something that I didn't notice the second time or today when I watched it, but I remember from this movie her getting a call from someone that says, I've been replacing my roommate's birth control with baby aspirin and now she's pregnant and now I have to get another roommate. Do you remember that call?
No,
You mean at the very beginning?
Is
or
it at
was
the
this in
very beginning?
I thought the very beginning
I thought
one was
the
the one
very
about the
beginning
chick
was
who
the blowjob
swallowed.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so
Which
I
is what
know
you're
that I
supposed to do.
remember this.
Oh, that's
No.
interesting. Maybe it's in another
That's why you have a
movie
discreet
that you're
glass
thinking
right next
about.
to the
What do you spit into? Oh, what is this? What is
or
that?
you just
what movie
don't
is that?
give head.
That's
American Pie,
Oh, you
and
are
it is
married.
also Tara Reid.
You are married. Sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
What just happened?
Let's just. I don't.
Did I say something?
No, you didn't. We are arguing over whether you should give head, and she like made like a bite motion. So.
Oh dear.
There
Okay, I did
is
not
a
look in her-
caller in here that I did notice when they're talking about being stuck, and that is an urban legend where the muscles in the vagina clamp down and will not release, and that is a true thing.
That actually happened to my ex. Not with me, but with
Wait,
somebody
you're
else.
oh,
With
okay.
my ex
like
and
her
someone
muscle,
else.
not her. Okay.
There was a hospital visit. It was
Really?
bad.
What?
Anyway,
Who is this? I demand to know.
we will.
Yeah, let's name names.
Do I
on
know-
this podcast.
Do I
we
know
will
her?
Put her on speakerphone later.
I'll call
Yeah.
her right now. Who is it?
So can we talk for a second
I'm gonna start
about
naming people until he
why
tells
does
me.
this person have a vulgar sex radio show on the college network
That everyone listens
that
to.
everyone listens
Yeah.
to?
So-
how is this
and-
allowed?
Okay, I feel like if she were giving good advice, there may be an argument. But she is terrible.
Yeah, she's
just
telling
like,
people to
You're the
spit."
worst. Yeah, we don't want you reproducing. I have this vivid memory of her telling this girl who was stealing her roommate's birth control just that she's crazy, and that's it. And
I
not
mean, you
saying,
might have
hey,
imagined this
that's
in your head.
bullshit. No, this is a thing. Somebody out there that's listening, not
Correct
one
this.
person.
Hit us up on Twitter at Horror Virgin.
Because I haven't seen. I mean, I don't know where else I would have gotten that, but I remember her telling someone that, and you cannot replace birth control with baby aspirin. It doesn't work.
It's not. It doesn't.
No, why would you think it works? They're for very
That's the
two
point.
different
Because
things.
Advil
no.
works for
It is
everything.
in this because in the research I was doing, I pulled up an article about that. So I don't know if they edited it out for this, or maybe we were just talking and didn't notice
That could
it.
be.
But
That
yeah,
is a
you
very real possibility.
Okay,
yeah.
but that's why I looked up the writer, because that is such bullshit, because that is not how fucking birth control works. You cannot replace it without somebody noticing, because you punch it out of things.
There are a lot of very dumb things in this movie
Yeah.
that were clearly written by a man. Just
Yes.
gonna say it. But
Hey, just let a woman read it.
Like all the
If a
female
woman's
dialogue.
going to
Well,
say it,
all right,
yes,
all right.
exactly.
Yeah.
I will read your screenplays, guys, if you want.
okay,
You guys heard it.
You said you were gonna read
Submit
mine
your
and
I will.
screenplays to the
Yeah.
at Horror Virgin.
Yeah.
read my only screenplay. Jennifer.
Screenplay.
All right, I want to expand my previous statement. So,
Okay.
why is it that all of their student jobs are taken so
Yes.
goddamn seriously?
Oh my
like
God.
Jared Leto, and the first scene is like, "I almost won the student
I mean,
Pulitzer."
he's
Yeah,
like-
student
I think he's
Pulitzer
like-
is
that
not a thing.
I
No,
don't think that's
it's
a
not.
thing.
He's like trying to take down Harvey Weinstein or something.
Yeah, and they keep threatening him. Like the dean keeps threatening his job.
Yeah.
What job?
Right.
It's like your editor is
He's on
firing
the paper.
you.
But I feel like every show or movie takes the student paper so seriously. Like, I don't remember that being a thing. Like it was like a stapled 3-page thing that we got like every quarter.
But I
And
also
it was
don't remember
just the play review and like whose birthday it was.
Yeah, I also don't remember people making fun of good-looking journalism majors, and everybody shits
Oh,
on
yeah.
Jared Leto in this movie. Like, oh, you're a journalism major. Like, psh,
Right.
fuck
Nobody
off.
cares about
Nobody
that. They
cares
were just
about you.
also jealous because he's dreamy.
He is a beautiful man whose
He
eyes
is.
are just a little too close together.
You know, I'm
That
just
went a
glad.
little too far.
I'm just
But
glad that he
anyway.
learned to read.
I bet it was difficult. He probably had to learn.
It might as well have been
eyes.
Jake Gyllenhaal because that's basically who he's playing in this movie.
You guys don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
What do you
No,
On My So-Called Life, he can't read.
nobody has
No
seen
one
that
has
show.
seen- no male
Every
has
girl
seen
who
that
is
show. Yes,
listening
you're-
has
you're
seen
right.
the
God.
show.
And Clara
You're totally right.
Danes
And
has seen that show.
Claire. Well, yeah, she's her sick burn in that. She's like, I spell my name with one L. Because he puts a note in her locker. Ladies, email me. We'll talk.
I feel like that's actually going to happen.
I
It
also
is,
would like
because
ladies to email me so
I
we can talk.
thought my love would teach Jordan Catalano to read. I love him. He's awesome.
Was
and
he
he's
weird
so
on that
like
show too?
no, because he was playing such an idiot.
Okay.
And he's just like a Nirvana guy, you know, and
So
he
he
doesn't
was
want to be
playing-
seen.
he was
in
playing
public with
Tara
Claire
Reid?
Danes. I don't even know what to say to that. Tara Reid is
yeah,
an idiot.
I think we're up to the part where
Wait,
the party is going on.
The party's going on, yeah.
Yes, and
The massacre party is going on.
Yep, the
Which is
dog.
another
which is
insane-
also it's. We were talking about this earlier. Like in late '90s slashers, whenever people are starting to get murdered, the kids always throw a party.
Let's
Yeah.
throw a party,
and it doesn't make
bro.
any sense. Like Scream, it handled it the best.
Yeah.
you know, they're all like kind of excited. They're
'cause of
getting
the
out of
curfew
school
and the
Yeah.
curfew.
But seriously, I mean, if all these students are getting murdered, like you're just gonna go off and throw a party?
No.
I mean the answer is
well,
yes.
but I mean, they're in a frat
But
house.
But during the
and-
party,
movie
Tara
land.
Reid just gets a hair up her ass to go start her radio show.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Rosenbaum, her boyfriend, is being a dick because Jared Leto comes in and he's like, "Hey, we gotta end the party because there's a killer on the
Right.
loose."
Yeah.
And Michael Rosenbaum's like, "You're a fucking journalist."
But he is like that through the entire movie.
Go
He
get
is
your
a
Pulitzer.
He is a dick. He definitely looks older than the other
Yeah.
Well, he's like
actors.
35 when this movie was filmed.
and he
he's
dresses
just filled with
weird.
hatred.
and-
He's
yeah,
just filled with hatred.
He is my least favorite part of this movie.
but he's like the ultimate prankster, I guess, in the movie, other than Pacey.
Pacey.
Yeah.
And they're best friends because they're pranksters
And they're in the same
brotherhood.
frat.
And are they in the same
Yeah.
frat?
They're in the frat house. That's what they're having the party for.
I did not pick up. I did not pick up on any of that. All right, so the dog and he gets a call. This is the only time where it gets really like Scream esque.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets a call from like a voice disguised
Yeah, the call is coming from inside the house.
from inside the house.
Oh,
And,
wow.
or from
Mind blown,
Damien's.
right?
I don't know what that. I don't know why it had Damien's name on it. Like
Damon.
Damien's or Damon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Damien is the devil.
Yeah.
I guess it was
anyway,
from his
the dog
room.
and the huh?
It was from his room or something.
I
That was
guess.
just their way to be able to say the words, the call is coming from inside the house. That's the only
Gotcha.
reason that existed.
So he basically says, this is the urban legend with the dog's in the microwave, and he runs it, and the dog is in the microwave because
Yeah,
I remember when that was in the trailer, and I was like, "There's no way that actually happens."
Yeah, because they don't show it. They show him running up to the microwave and then they cut black and he
Oh, they show it in the actual movie.
Yeah, they do
though.
show it in the movie.
Show it, man. I mean,
they
yeah,
don't
it's like
show it as much
dripping
as they
and
could.
Well,
yeah.
it could have been worse, sure, but it was still pretty bad.
Yeah.
So then he goes to run to throw up. And the killer, I guess, kind of always knows everybody's going to end up in this movie
because she plans.
because
Yeah.
she plans.
Because
And
this murderer is a
he-
planner.
She kills him by way of Drano.
Yeah.
Puts like a funnel down his throat. I thought that was kind of cool.
I think it's interesting. I was reading Men, Women, and Chainsaws last night, and they were
What?
talking
What?
just like it is.
What?
Women in Chainsaws magazine, Todd. Haven't
What
you ever heard of
is
it?
this?
Do you know what? It's a
No, I don't know it.
it's a book about gender in horror films. Anyway,
Oh my god, I feel like that is like your porn. Like that is like the best thing.
I mean, I did underline a lot of
Is
stuff.
this a thesis paper that you wrote?
ooh, I
you
Oh
turn
my
it into a
God,
novel?
no!
So
one
slow.
dream, my dream one day, I'm going to be a horror movie anthropologist. I'm going to will it to be a job. Anyways,
Anthropologist?
yes, because that's what's so interesting is why things are scary and what
There
anyway,
were people in
that's
my
why I
film
love-
school that just taught horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think urban legends are so fascinating. But anyways,
Okay.
so they were talking about the victims in slashers and when men are victims. And they talk about when men are, she says, when men are victims, it's normally a really quick kill and you normally see it from a distance and it's like dim and you don't see it a whole lot. But when women are killed, it's like
It's
a
up
prolonged
close,
thing.
and it's like torture porny,
Right.
and
And,
it's
they
like, yeah.
chase for a long time. So they're like, they can flop all over the place. But so the other way that
Ooh,
men
the flops
are
the best.
are killed sometimes is in like a feminine way, like they're in a pose that would be more feminine or emasculating, which
So-
would like tied to the toilet and something shoved down his throat.
Well, I mean, yeah, he
It's
was on
better
his
than
knees.
shoving
up
She-
his
he had a
ass, which
tube
could have
shoved
been-
down his throat,
He did,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then it was filled with white viscous fluid.
That foamed and sizzled and was
I was
probably
a fan.
pretty warm.
I was a fan of that kill.
I have Honestly,
I don't really like that one that much, although I do like when that guy does.
I couldn't stop jerking it.
So
This is
then
true.
it cuts to Tara Reid, and
Tara Reid's running a radio
she's
show.
running a radio
Yeah.
show, and it seems as though she just can. It's almost like a podcast where she can just go down to the studio and run the radio.
Except it's
And there
live.
doesn't
It's
have to
live.
be anybody
Is it
there.
live?
Yeah, because they
Yeah,
listen
okay.
to it at the party.
And that's why
So,
she has
yeah.
to leave the party because it's time for her show.
Okay, because I thought it was just I'm going to do my radio show
I
because
thought-
I'm mad at you.
I
Like, that's
honestly-
how
Well, she
it
was, I think.
I
written.
honestly thought I
Yeah.
thought that too. I thought it wasn't time for it. She's just like, fuck this. I'm going to go do my radio show and bitch about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Except not as well acted.
Yeah. So
I'm a better Tara Reid than Tara Reid.
So shit starts to go down in the radio studio, right? Like, doesn't the killer pop up and kill the assistant in the other room?
I think so, yeah, but
And
it's
then
really quick.
It goes dark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have any lines, but he's in a lot of
He's the
scenes.
guy. He's the guy who was there before, who's like got his shirt wide open at the very beginning, like he's
Yeah.
wearing a shirt, but it's like a button down that's just open.
Oh, yeah. And
You
he
jumped at
always
that
does like
part
the smile and nod.
when the killer popped up behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was scary. What I hate jump scares so much.
You hate the music cues for sure.
Yeah. It's a trigger for me, guys.
Aw.
So
You're
shit's
so
going
good.
down at the studio, and they're still broadcasting. So Tara
Yeah.
Reid starts running, and everybody at the party who's drunk at this point is like, "Oh, this is just staged." You know?
Well, that's the urban legend. They're talking about the scream, the real scream in that song.
Yeah.
And so the urban legend is that she is
That guy you
actually
thought was the writer
screaming.
because he's talking to the main character like,
Right.
So there's like this song and there's like the
All
scream and
writers
yeah,
look
yeah.
the same, and I feel like that was the writer. I'm gonna
It
try
might
to look
be.
that up.
I
later.
don't know. I found
Yeah.
one picture of that dude.
The most unfuckable dude in a corduroy blazer is the writer.
And he's got.
ladies and
Didn't you ask
gents.
if it was Screech?
It looked
You
like
did ask
Screech to
him.
me. Yeah, I was like, is that Screech? Dustin Diamond in this movie?
Oh, Dustin Diamond.
So nobody really does anything except for Alicia Witt that really believes there's something going on. She knows she's
Because
seen
nobody
bodies
ever
and shit.
believes women.
Jared Leto believes.
Kind of until
He
he's over
believes-
it. And
he
he gets her
believes-
fired from. He gets fired from the paper, and then he's like, "Fuck you! I don't believe you anymore."
No, he believes her towards. He tries to
Yeah.
stop the party. So he believes both her and the fact that his eyes are a little too close together. And
Is
then
that 3 times?
I don't know.
It's not funny.
Listeners.
It wasn't funny the first time.
It's always
yeah.
been funny. He, I don't know where
Just
he is
run
during
it
this
into the
part.
ground.
He bones out because he's the red herring.
He leaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
He leaves. He's all over campus trying to find people.
Or
There's no
something,
security there.
right.
Okay. Oh, we forgot that the dean got killed and
Yeah.
Wexler
Oh, yeah.
got killed too.
Wexler.
Freddy Krueger.
Right, but did
We don't know
see
Wexler's-
Wexler get killed, though?
we don't see
I don't
him
think
get
we
killed.
saw
We only-
No,
him
we just see his body in the trunk.
Right.
in the trunk later on.
But the dean get
But
killed.
the dean gets
the dean
killed in a
got
pretty
pet
cool
cemeteried
way.
and then run over.
Yeah, they cut his, the killer cut his Achilles tendon in the parking lot, right? Or
Yeah,
parking
and
garage?
then took his parking brake off, and he got killed like the actor from Star Trek.
And that is an urban legend too, that somebody's hiding under your car and they cut your Achilles tendon
Yes.
and then you fall over. And they
I've
kill
heard
you.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Tara Reid, so Alicia Witt shows up at the pool. Like he chases Tara Reid around. The killer chases Tara Reid around for a while.
Yeah.
Then they end up
And then just like
in-
kills her with an axe. That's a
kills her
little
with an axe, and we don't really get to see it, and that was disappointing. He like shot, she's.
I wasn't so disappointed with it.
Yeah,
But
Tara
I mean,
Reid's
they,
on the ground.
They really, to your
and-
point, like stretch out her running around in
Yeah,
that white
for a long
top
time. And her,
because,
yeah.
because
her
she
clothes
made.
falling
I don't,
off.
thing. I mean,
I
if
don't
you're
know
go-
what she got paid for this, but she earned it. In
She
that
earned it.
She earned it. She earned it.
Well, she can't run or scream
Yeah.
or act. I mean, she
Yeah.
can't. She
I
can't
don't
do any
know
of
how
it.
She's got 2 qualities that I think got her this
I don't
job.
remember her being that bad in like Van Wilder.
Van Wilder was filled with ditzy women roles in
Sure,
that,
sure.
and so she
that Ryan Reynolds?
probably
Yeah.
shined in that because of that. I don't know. No, I like Van Wilder. I don't remember if she was good in it or not, but
I wouldn't say she was good, but she wasn't that.
she wasn't this.
She
bad.
didn't really
wasn't
have
urban
much to
legend.
do in
Quite
this other
awful.
than say stupid shit and run around.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much every movie she's in.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's a Tara Reid movie, guys. That's
Yeah.
what she does.
So
mean,
anyway, the
American
point I was
Pie.
trying to make was they spend way too much time on this character. There needs to be a pretty sweet kill at the end of
Yeah,
this.
that's true.
And
There's
there
not a
just
whole lot of
wasn't.
payout.
Yeah.
Also, I thought she was gonna like something was gonna happen when she was hanging and she had the axe and like I thought she was gonna chop her finger off or
Or
something.
her head off. That would have
Yeah.
been amazing.
She
and
could
that didn't
she
happen.
probably would have dropped the axe though. That was kind of a weird angle.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, she
Yeah,
kills Tara Reid.
if this movie does
Also,
anything, it's
she-
logistics.
Yeah.
Also,
Alicia Witt shows up, sees Tara Reid being killed,
Yes.
runs away, goes across campus to get Jared Leto. They're trying to leave. They get in a car. They can't find the security guard.
Right.
And
Meanwhile,
I feel
Reese
like all
is
the
kind of
roads
running
go
around.
in circles too.
They
you
do.
know? Like,
Yeah.
they're never
But
go-
they all lead to the single lane bridge.
right. Single lane bridge, gas station, university.
Yeah.
There's only one road, guys.
Oh, murder tree.
And it's a triangle.
Reese,
flat circle.
meanwhile, is running around finding bodies, and then she
Yeah.
eventually goes and gets a bigger gun, and
Did she find some bodies?
she finds a couple bodies.
Oh, that's
and
right. I think she
then
sees. No, she slips,
slips
in
the
blood. That's it. But
Yeah.
I don't think she sees the body.
I don't think she sees
Okay.
the body either.
because all the bodies are staged in the house.
In the dorm that was closed for
Right.
30 years.
The murder dorm. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Nobody on a college campus had ever managed to break into before.
So how does she have time to run around and kill all these people while at the same time building up the most elaborate, like, haunted house
and
with
like
candles?
70 candles.
Yeah, that's the most impressive part to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to light those many candles, and it's hard to find candles of all the varying lengths, you know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
arrange them.
Oh
in
no, she
pleasing
bought a
ways.
pack of like 100 of the same length and just cut a few of them.
Yeah, that's what you do on a diagonal.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's slasher magic, though. That's how you do that.
Slasher magic.
Magic.
I don't need to know. I don't care.
No, I like
Slasher?
that. We're gonna keep that slasher magic.
Put it on a T-shirt.
So they try to leave.
Oh, we're right about to see Noxema Girl just flip the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, like they end up back at the old. Well, first off, there's something I missed this part.
No,
but
no,
there was
Jared
something
Leto-
that led them to believe Jared Leto was the killer.
Yeah, yeah. So
He ran
Jared Leto
around, he
and
disappeared.
The two main girls, the one who's Noxema Girl who did it all, and then the block of wood with red hairs. Super
Wow.
Also, he's really the only man left.
They get in Jared Leto's car, right? He is the only man left because
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek and fucking
We use man
Lex
loosely.
Luthor is dead. So they get in his Jeep or whatever and drive to the gas station.
Yeah.
And then while he's in the gas station, I think maybe
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to
they
use the
find the
phone.
dude in the
they
car.
find the Freddy
the-
Krueger
In the
guy.
trunk.
Yeah.
There's
and
not a
he's just,
trunk
like,
in a
on the
Jeep,
phone,
but
and
yeah.
they look over and they're like,
And
And
we
he just
forgot
waves
about
to
the
him.
scene where Alicia Witt's trying to get away and she tries to hitchhike with the creepy janitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's
And-
right after that. Yeah.
And then he tries to like not let her out of the car, and he has a truck that doesn't open from the
the
inside.
door only
Correct.
opens
on the
from
lady
the
side.
outside.
He has that. He has the killer's coat. Now this coat
Everybody has
pops
this
up. Like Robert Englund has the coat.
There's
I
a
think.
sale at Burlington Coat Factory, and
yeah.
everybody bought one.
You
Well,
walk into
some
Burlington
random
Coat Factory,
girl has the coat
$500.
at the swim at the
Like,
pool.
anyways, go
Everybody
ahead.
has it. You know, everybody has this fucking coat, and it's not. It's like fall. It's like autumn.
I
It's
know.
not winter.
Okay, I know
There's
about
definitely no snow on the ground.
So they originally planned for it to be a cold weather movie, but the shooting schedule and the weather didn't match up. But they already had the coat, and they didn't know how they were going to get away with her being a lady killer and actually seeing part of her. So the coat totally covered. So they just kept the coat, which is why that lady shows up at the swimming pool with like full on snowsuit in a pool and just her bathing suit underneath.
Okay, so we eventually end up back at the creepy dorm. Yeah, the one that.
the condemned dorm.
The condemned
that was
dorm
part
from
of
the
the massacre
massacre.
from 30
Which
years ago.
in Midland and Chainsaws is called the Terrible Place. It's part of the slasher formula.
And it just happens
Okay.
to be when Alicia Witt is running by it, that Rebecca Gayhart's in there screaming.
Yeah, she's
And-
luring her in there.
Yeah.
because she's the fucking herderer.
Yeah.
She can teleport, is my point. I mean, she
can.
has to be a teleporter.
It's slasher magic.
Slasher magic.
Slagic.
It's just basic planning.
Yeah. So she goes in and she finds the bodies of everybody basically.
She finds the
And-
dean. She finds who else?
She finds Pacey. She finds Lex
Yeah.
Luthor. She finds.
That's right, she finds Lex.
And the
Who
big
else?
plot twist is Alicia Witt and the girl from the opening of the movie accidentally killed by way of vehicular manslaughter Rebecca Gayhart's like high school boyfriend.
They were going to get married.
or some
were.
shit. Now, Jen, I have a question for you,
Uh-huh.
and if you've ever thought about this. So, it was explained that Alicia Witt was not driving the car; she was just there.
But it was her
It
car.
was her car. It was her car. Yeah.
But it was her car, right? So why does she just swiftly kill the main driver
Yeah.
and then do an elaborate plot to torture and manipulate and eventually murder this girl and all her
Right.
friends? Like, it
Maybe
makes
she
no
just felt
sense.
like the driver lady wasn't worth it because she didn't care.
Or
Okay.
because
So-
the block of wood with red hair was trying to pick up Jared Leto.
Yeah,
and she
that's
wanted
true,
a piece of
too.
Jared Leto.
Oh,
because she
that's
does mention that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
She does
all
mention
right.
that.
Well, you figured you could have done urban
And-
legend plot lines with both of them or
And
something.
for
I don't know. But
and for a chick who is very upset about losing her first boyfriend, she's
She
moved
sure
on.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Moved on quickly.
super into
Yeah.
JL.
Jared Leto, man.
Yeah.
Those eyes.
She's like,
only been a
listen,
couple
they're a little too
years.
close together, but I'm on board for that.
Doesn't she have a slideshow at the end?
Yes.
She does.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
like,
the first killer I've ever seen with a multimedia slideshow about why they killed people.
Planning.
Well, I always remember Adam's Family Values. You remember that? At the end,
Do they have a
they do
slideshow?
that. Well,
Is
Joan
that the one with
Cusack
the
has a
MC Hammer?
slideshow.
Well,
but-
okay, so in Men, Women, and Chainsaws, they were talking about when the killer is a female because it's very rare that it's happened. At least, well, there are a couple of that I can think of.
Isn't one Jason's mom though?
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Correct.
There's another one that I can think of.
Never seen that movie, but I know that.
Oh, it's
Well, there's High
so
Tension.
good.
That's one of them.
Yeah, spoiler.
Yeah. Well, oh well.
Hey, let's not spoil a whole bunch of movies. But anyways, so what they said was when the
'cause I haven't
man
seen
is
them.
the killer in a slasher, it's usually because they had some kind of fucked up childhood, and that's why they're like dressing in people's skin as their mom or like
wow, okay.
doing all kind of crazy
Okay.
shit. But when it's a female
it's always
killer,
over a man.
It's
or
because she's on her
something.
period.
that's what it said.
Yeah.
That it's
Oh.
not because of a fucked up childhood. It's not necessarily. Well, yeah, it is. I keep saying they. It's a lady who wrote this book, and she's awesome. They said it's because of in adulthood some abandonment by a man or loss of status.
I mean, that just makes sense to me though. Like that's
Hold on.
it
Female
seems
killers.
real.
Okay.
Stop talking, Todd.
And that they
It's
don't
a
have
trap.
any.
It's a
She's
trap,
not
Todd.
paying attention.
It's a trap, Todd.
They don't have any gender confusion, which is often what happens when it's a man.
What about
killing.
Sleepaway Camp? Gender confusion all day.
I haven't seen
You
that, but
haven't
it,
seen
man, it is on my
Sleepaway
list. I know what
Camp.
happened.
I haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, but I know.
Hey,
about it.
let's
just
spoil
giving a
it
shit.
too.
Or actually, I
Okay,
think
so
I have.
Carol Clover says anger comes from specific moments in their adult lives in which they have been abandoned or cheated on by men.
Okay.
And lots of times that means they're actually killing the men that cheated on them or that abandoned them, but that is not the case here. I also think it's interesting that they slipped in that they were going to get married because that suddenly or somehow would elevate the relationship, like the seriousness of it, because she's also
Right.
losing her social status.
Even though she's
and
like
not just-
16.
Right,
Yeah.
and not just losing a man. Hey, I was engaged in high school.
Yeah, this is my plan.
Were
And
you?
then-
I was.
And
we got married and
instead-
ended up happily ever after.
And instead, this murder sent me to college instead.
Right.
Gross.
And now I'm going to get a degree
Education.
and also murder people.
She really doesn't. She only cares about the boys.
She wants her MRS degree.
But
She wants
I
to be
was,
Mrs. Lady Journalist.
Oh my yes.
But I was very entertained at her new performance.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, her hair got way frizzier.
Yeah, it did.
And the
Her
makeup.
eyeliner got all
Yeah.
smudgy. Yeah.
So she's level 12, man.
I have to talk about something.
Okay.
The Jared Leto slow clap is. That's when I was like, really, really,
I do think you said that.
really. I think I said it like 90 times. I became Seth Meyers and Amy Poehler from SNL Weekend Update. Really?
What was it that
Really?
bothered you about it, Todd?
It was dumb. It was very
There were
dumb.
lots of dumb things in this movie.
Oh my! I guess that's true, but it was like next level stupid.
Did you think that was a really smart play? And
I think Clint
the
was
best
like,
part of
"This
it?
is the best
Back in the 90s, I'm like,
screenwriting
this is the
I've
only play there
ever."
is. There
Yeah.
is no,
my
there's
God.
no security guard around.
Yeah.
There's no police. He has to
Thank
just
God Jared
pretend to
saved
be
the day.
crazy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yeah, I mean, he.
I mean,
That's
you
the
did
only play in
form-
town. Is it in all your screenplays?
He did.
Well, he
formula-
tried. He should have tried to kiss her, like go in for a kiss instead of
Yeah.
just being like, "Oh,
Grab me
Give
the
me the
gun.
gun.
Yeah,
yeah,
come
that was
on.
Yeah.
a rookie move.
yeah,
you
you blew
already
it.
nailed the slow clap. Just keep it going,
Plus,
Jade.
you know she likes you and she's into it.
Oh, she would be into
Dude,
it.
Yeah.
Can I just,
I mean,
Sometimes,
it's
there's,
Jared
sometimes
Leto.
there's no way
Jen?
out.
Jen, don't listen to
guys.
this. A chick that crazy, Clint? Would you not want to have sex with her at least once just to see what it was like?
You mean like Rebecca Gayheart?
Oh yeah. If a chick is that crazy, I would at least want to experience it one time before I call the cops.
Before she murders you.
Genuinely.
But would it be
Have you
worth
ever seen Gone
dying?
Girl?
Have you ever seen Gone
Gone
Girl?
Girl, yeah.
Oh,
Or read the book?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I could not stop jerking it.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Doogie Howser? Let's do this.
Oh,
What are we talking about right now? Okay.
I wrote him a fan letter one time.
Oh, that is depressing. Did he respond to your brother? Cause he's gay. All right, whatever. I mean, I
Did
do
he,
was
love
funny,
did he
him.
Todd,
write
I'll
you?
give
Did
you
he
that.
write you back inside?
I do love him.
Doogie Howser, MD, at the bottom.
I do love him. Like I think he's great. I thought he was great in
Doogie Howser.
How I Met Your Mother. I thought he's.
I thought he was great in Gone Girl. I loved Gone Girl.
Harold and Kumar.
I like
he can
David
really do
Fincher.
no wrong.
Yeah, he really. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't love everything he's ever done, but he's good. I think he does great work. Anyway, so yeah, you wouldn't try it once.
Now, if you knew she was going to kill you right after, would
No,
it be worth
if
it?
I thought praying mantis, no. But if I thought maybe I could perhaps get away, and I could because she's a woman.
Here's
so
what
like,
you
yeah,
do.
I totally. Clint is quietly nodding, so he doesn't have to be verbally
Here's what you
on
do
the
after you
record.
sleep with her. You just do this.
You just
Slow
slow
clap.
clap her out of the room.
I slow
Really
clap after
crazy.
sex. I don't know about you guys.
What'd you say?
I slow clap.
No,
after
Clint.
sex.
What you have is the clap. It's not the slow clap. Nailed it. All right, seriously.
Well done, Todd.
Thank you.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah.
I fucking
So,
hate
guys, it's a matter of quantity, not quality, but some of them are quality. And you guys are not coming. Just for the record, you guys are not coming on board with the Jared Leto. The eyes are too close. There she goes. All right.
You know what, though? I am in favor of running a joke into the ground.
Yeah.
Because here's what happens. Eventually, people will start to make the joke for you.
Yes.
And that's when you know you have truly achieved comedy gold.
Nothing would make me more happy than to have people who are like fans of this podcast go to Jared Leto's Wikipedia and just like write on there that he's had surgery to have his eyes fixed until they lock his Wikipedia page because he can't.
I mean, you could go do that yourself.
So between that and Ryan Phillippe being a guest on the show,
Oh my
we've got
God,
some
we got to
goals.
get right. And then Jessica Chastain because we're going to get married, even though I think she's already married. And
I don't think she is.
No, I don't think she is.
I'll be back, guys.
And
Okay.
uh-oh.
That made a lot of noise when I dropped it.
the mic.
When you
not in a
dropped the
cool
mic,
way.
right? Not the other
Not
thing
in
that
a
made a
cool
lot of
way.
noise.
If I dropped that, you wouldn't hear it.
So she goes crazy. Jared Leto shows up, pretends to be crazy.
Slow clap.
Doesn't really work, right? I
No.
don't remember how they take her down. Oh, Reese shows
Yeah,
up.
Reese shows up and shoots her in the
Reese
arm.
shows up and shoots her.
And then Redhead
then
gets the gun and shoots her out the window.
Okay.
Which
yeah.
is the fourth floor.
And then she
She falls out
right.
the window onto concrete.
We don't actually see her land or hear
Did
her
she
land.
float away?
I don't know. Maybe she landed
Well,
on a
that's
mattress.
That's not the end, guys. Because remember, they go driving again,
That they do.
and she ends up in the back seat. That's the last scene.
And here's the weird thing. Well, not the weird thing, but when she's in the truck with the creepy janitor, and he just happens to flash the lights because she's driving around baiting
Yeah.
with no like. What if he hadn't flashed the lights? Would she have just like continued on?
Well, would she not have? What if she was not on that road when there's
Right.
so many coincidences?
And I think I made the comment. This is when it goes off the rails. And Todd said, "Oh, this is when."
No,
But
it
he's
went off
too
the
busy
rails
texting
a
right now,
long time
so-
ago. I'm not texting
then
anybody.
it actually
I am
went off
on
the
board. I am
rails.
paying attention. It went off the rails well before this
It
point.
did. I
Yeah.
love it though.
So
Yeah.
so they she sort of gets. Does she get shot off that bridge?
She gets
or
shot.
knocked
Yeah,
off a
it's like
bridge?
Michael
Like
Michael
who?
Myers.
I don't remember.
It's like
him.
exactly how Michael Myers
Yeah,
dies.
she's
in the first Halloween.
she's in the Jeep with them, right? And then
Yeah.
she's trying to hit him with the axe,
Loomis,
and she hits Jared Leto right between the eyes with the butt of
The
the
side
axe,
of the axe,
which
yeah.
is very impressive because
it probably knocked his eyes.
Doesn't
If
fix
you try to
anything.
hit in between the eyes, that's a
got kicked
very
by a
small
mule
patch
and
to
his
hit.
eyes
Oh, beat
went
me
crossed.
by a second.
So yeah,
Gets
so
kicked by a mule, goes back to normal. I don't know.
What was it? Fell down a well first, right? Fell down
yeah.
a well, eyes go cross, kicked by a mule, come back to normal.
have you seen Robin Hood Men in Tights when Blinken
Have I
falls out
seen
of the
Robin
tree
Hood Men
and
in
then
Tights?
I could see
Oh my
and then he
God.
runs into it.
Goodbye.
No, but when
You have to cut that out. It's probably really racist.
but
I can
when-
sing all of the songs in that movie. Do you want to hear them? And I know
No,
the
no. But when,
love
when
that movie.
Blinken falls out of the tree or whatever, and then he can see
I
again,
can see,
and then
it's a
he
miracle.
immediately walks into another tree. I cannot tell you how many debates I had with my brothers about could he actually see after he fell, because there's no evidence that he could actually see,
No.
and he immediately walks into another tree. Oh, this humor's
I
next level,
love
Mel
that
Brooks.
movie.
Oh my God.
Hey, Blinken.
I honestly think that movie came out at a time when Todd was going through a little bit of a sexual awakening, and that chick has red hair in that movie.
It does,
And she is.
You mean like
real
losing your
nice.
virginity? Is that
No.
Oh,
I wasn't 11 when I lost my virginity. That movie's old as fuck. But yeah.
Oh, man, I watched that
when
movie over
when
and
she's in the
over again,
bathtub
though. Uh-huh.
and the camera pushes in and she's like stands up, I was like, oh, this is what I want everything to be. And
Like a-
she's
like
a
metal
skinny.
chassis belt?
Ooh. I can't wait till it shapes. When she is a redhead, skinny, and pale, and that's like my wheelhouse.
And she was married to John Ritter and was on Wings.
Yeah,
She
I
was married to
remember
John
from
Ritter.
The
She was.
Mask.
Good for
also.
him.
Yeah.
She had a part in The Mask.
Oh yeah.
What else is there to talk about?
Well, nothing. She gets shot off the bridge. They look
Oh.
down and you see her not her body, but like you can't really
She's
tell.
floating. She's
And then she
floating
just,
there.
like,
She's
falls in a puddle.
kind of floating in like a shallow puddle.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
mean, I
like,
think
it's not
it
like
is
a river
actually a
down there,
river,
right?
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it's a river.
Okay, all
It's
right. But-
substantial water, but I mean, it's not like she fell over Niagara Falls or anything.
Okay, well, it was very confusing because they just fast forward to she is just at another college pretending to
Yeah.
be someone else.
That
and you're like,
surprised
wait
me
a
because I
second.
thought the formula is the killer dies at the end normally,
Yeah.
and she does
In
not.
some 90s movies, they pull this ending because it reminded me of Disturbing Behavior the same year. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
Another,
don't remember
another
much about
alum from The Creek, Katie Holmes.
Who's that? James Marsden?
James Marsden.
I had that soundtrack, I think.
That was a great soundtrack. They still play that song, the Flagpole Sitta
Everybody's
song.
coming to get
Yeah.
me.
Oh, little Harvey
And I
Danger.
never
Yeah.
met you.
Flagpole Sitta.
I used
Yeah.
to play that song on repeat one and drive my roommates crazy.
It's a
in
great
college.
song.
It is a good song.
Name another.
But they
Harvey Danger song.
Nope.
You
and they
can't.
I'm out.
seriously wrote that song for that movie.
Did
and
they?
no one remembers the movie, but everybody remembers the song.
It's a
So
good
that's
song.
a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah. So
Okay, so when she's sitting there, first of all, one thing that bugs me is they try to straighten her hair and they don't straighten it all the way. Like, what the fuck? Just make it.
you didn't
so
recognize
straight.
her. Like you turned and asked, like, is
Well,
that
she's
her?
got a lot of like weird makeup on. Like she looks.
Noxzema.
Anyway,
She's an
but
Noxzema
she's
girl.
got this this scarf tied around her neck.
Yeah.
And that's a reference to the urban legend, the yellow ribbon, which is this guy dates this girl with a yellow. She always wears a yellow ribbon tied around her neck.
Because she slit her throat or whatever?
No, so they get married. They date forever, and she's like, "Well, why don't you ever take your yellow ribbon off?" And she won't ever do it. And they finally get married, and on her wedding night, she takes the yellow ribbon off, and her head falls off. It's not a true story, but that's what that is referencing. What?
Interesting.
Have you guys not heard that?
No. I haven't heard any of these.
You haven't heard of anything or anyone.
I know. I'm so lost.
Who even are you?
Oh, my God. All right. So are we done with this shitty movie?
No, this is a good.
Yeah.
Should we rate it on our scale of
We should. Oh, and I've got a
Gremlins to
one
Pet
for
Sematary?
us too.
Okay.
Are we
What is
doing
it?
1 to? We switched it to 1 to 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clint
All
had
right.
to make it bigger. Yeah. So
Hey,
one, I thought one could be.
High five, Glenn. Let's do it.
No.
Oh,
right.
I'll have five.
No.
No, you're too far away.
Oh.
We have a big studio, guys.
They are on another couch. Okay, so my one was
right.
Ghostbusters,
Goes okay. All
Yeah.
right. And what is 10?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. I don't think that's the scariest movie ever, though. But okay.
It doesn't have to be the scariest movie ever because everybody has their own different scariest movie ever.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
What
far,
I'm
this
going
is the
for
scariest movie I've ever seen.
All right. So this is a scare factor scale, or just
Scare
good movie
factor.
to bad
Scare
movie
factor.
scale?
Scare
Scare factor.
I mean, I feel
would
like
put-
they already know if we think it's a good movie.
It's
or
not a
bad
good movie, guys.
I love it, but no, okay. Because here's the point: if we're trying to convince people who don't like horror movies to watch horror movies, I think it's relevant to know.
Is that the point of
one,
this podcast?
That's my point. That is
Oh
my
my
mission in
God.
life: is
Oh
to
my
get people
God.
to like scary things so they can discover themselves.
Then I should not be on this podcast because I would caution you to not watch
no,
this movie.
there's a scary movie that you're gonna like. We're gonna
I'll say
find it.
this: this movie does have some watchability because of how bad everyone is.
Yes,
in
it is an
It
entertaining
is-
bad movie.
Yeah, it's very, very bad.
But I think that a couple of things are relevant if we're trying to convince people to watch movies, and maybe we should say them at the front of the podcast before we spoil everything. One, how scary we think it is, and two, like what genre, what subgenre it is, and two, how much gore is. Because I always want to know what kind of gore factor there is, because I don't like really gory movies.
All right, so where would you guys put this on a scale of 1 to 10 from?
I'd put it like a 4.
I was going to say a 4 too. Yeah, I mean there are still a couple of creep factors in it. I still think
Yeah,
the opening
there's
is
some
creepy
really
as
scary
shit.
imagery.
Yeah.
I don't think I should be able to answer that question because I haven't.
Well, you should
No,
answer
we
it the
wanna
most.
kn- yeah, we wanna
because
know what you think.
We've seen this 5 million
I
times.
saw-
so I
That's
can't-
part of why it's not scary for me.
I think the Blair Witch Project, which I've seen, it's one of the 5 I've seen.
I love that movie.
I think that's scarier than this, but I would put this at like a 6. I don't know.
Okay,
I haven't
all right.
seen enough.
I mean, you were jumping like a solid 8.
was. I can't handle jump scares, guys. I'm a bitch. But yeah, so like I'd put it high
Jump
up there.
scares
but-
are like the lowest.
oh my god,
scare
I
of
can't
horror.
handle it.
Oh,
Well, whatever, Jen.
Okay, so you give it
You give it a 6.
or
Sure.
maybe a 7.
I was going to write this down. You gave it a 7?
No, I'm talking about him.
Yeah,
He needs
it's
to-
pretty high for me, but I haven't seen enough movies to.
but that's still
Yeah,
fair.
but how
That's
scared
fine.
were you? How many times did you shout the word?
I,
fuck?
a few
I was
times.
quite a few times. And when Tyler walked out, I jumped just from someone else walking into the room. So yeah,
Okay,
All
so
right.
Clint gave it a 4.
this is why you can't do live episodes.
a
Like
4.
I don't want to lose my shit in front of a live
That's
studio
the
audience.
whole point of this podcast is us making fun of you for being scary and for me improving the world through horror.
Oh my god,
Okay.
Would you say 6?
6 or 7.
Yeah. So
Well,
Yeah.
6.5.
What was the second thing you said? I can't remember.
Gore.
Gore, yeah,
Well,
there's not much gore in
there's
it.
Not really.
Honestly, the
any,
goriest part is the puppy.
The puppy.
Yeah,
The puppy.
and that's probably the
yeah.
most disturbing part.
Yeah.
I don't like vomit and spit, so the Pop Rock stuff and the Drano I don't like either.
Yeah.
But Yeah. And what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. What? Okay, so this is a meta slasher, is what I would say, which is like a slasher, except it is a self-aware slasher. Like the characters know what a slasher movie is. Like Scream is a meta slasher. Friday the 13th is not, because they don't know they're in a scary movie.
But they do in Scream.
They talk about the rules of a
She
scary
knew
movie.
she's in a
They're
scary
watching
movie?
Halloween. Yes, they know
Oh,
the
in
concept
Scream
of
they are?
slasher in Scream. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what makes it a meta slasher.
But this too, I didn't notice that.
I mean, they don't. They know about urban legends. They know,
that's
like
true. Okay.
they start to see the patterns.
Okay.
I mean, it's not technically Scream is like the classic example of that,
Sure.
but I still would put this in that category.
All right.
I would agree. I had to go back and remind myself that this was not a Dimension picture.
Was it not?
No.
Scream is Dimension.
Yes.
Without
And
having
so
seen
was-
Scream, this feels like a ripoff of Scream to me. But I've never seen
It's
Scream.
It is
definitely
very much-
trying to
yes.
catch the Scream train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All aboard the Scream train. That's what it sounded like to me.
But I'm trying to think of what else was out around this time. I mean, within a couple of months of this,
98, Titanic was out.
No, false.
Phantom Menace was out around that time.
Also false.
97 is
You
Titanic.
no, you were bad at this.
97 was Titanic.
Titanic
right?
is
Yeah.
97. This is 98.
Oh, I was off by a year.
And Phantom Menace is 99. So you
I was off by a year again.
you host a movie podcast. You have to get this right.
Oh, my
Now, Bride
only
of
here so you can
Chucky.
make fun of me.
Within a month of this movie, Bride of Chucky was out, and so was I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So
Yeah.
it was really oversaturated.
Brandy was in that one,
at
right?
What? Oh yeah.
Brandy? Like the
We'll
singer?
do I Still
And
Know
Omar
at
Epps, I
some
think,
point.
too.
We'll get to
Isn't
I
that the
Still Know.
tropical version?
Yeah, and Jack Black as a
That's
stoner.
right.
Yeah.
He's the Johnny Galecki in the second movie.
Oh my god.
I love Johnny.
Yeah.
Galecki.
Have we decided, maybe we shouldn't talk about this yet. Have we decided what we're doing next?
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we can go ahead and talk about it since we're not doing the mini episodes.
No, we're not.
We
Yeah.
are doing Poltergeist next.
Yes.
What?
Yeah,
All right, so this is one of those I don't want to do,
I know.
which I'm going to say every
There
time.
isn't one of them you're not going to want to
It's good. It's going to be good. It's Steven Spielberg.
So Poltergeist, I know, like, because it's been around a long time
Uh-huh.
and everyone talks about it. People probably ripped it off in other movies.
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know.
I think it's kind of a
But-
singular one. I mean, it's definitely a haunted house movie. But
Yeah, it's definitely a haunted house movie. I know that there are scenes like where it's going to freak me out because it's supernatural
Yeah.
and that shit fucks with me
There's
so
some
hard.
some scary shit in it too. It's rated PG though.
Well, this is back in a time when you could see tits in PG movies.
Yeah, and there's pot in it too.
Oh, not pot.
Yeah,
I don't want to do this.
it's good. It's
gonna be
really
wonderful.
good.
Wonderful.
And so what's funny is, well, we can talk about this in the next episode.
So, guys, watch Poltergeist. Watch
Poltergeist.
Yep.
Before,
Hey, the original, not the remake.
Oh, not the Sam Rockwell fucking shit fest. No.
Which it's actually not that
I haven't
bad.
seen either.
It's just
I really like
lame.
Sam Rockwell.
Ew.
I'm
What'd
a
you
fan of
say?
Sam Rockwell.
We were talking about Sam Rockwell the other day. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like he is always horny.
Always has a sexual energy about
Yeah.
him. That's why he's always dancing. Yeah, hasn't it clicked for you? I never really put my finger on
That's
it.
why you like it.
I'll say this: I never thought that myself, but when
Until
you
she
said
it, and it makes
immediately I
total
was
sense.
like,
Yeah.
oh shit! Because one of my favorite movies that he's in is a movie called Choke, where he plays a
Oh,
sex
dear.
addict.
Oh.
Like I was like, yeah.
And you just totally
Yeah.
buy him in that.
Oh
role,
yeah,
right?
like
What about
you-
Iron Man 2?
Is he in Iron Man too?
Oh my god,
Guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's in Green
Still
Mile.
dancing.
Oh yeah, he's
I don't remember.
Damn man, walking.
Guys, we'll see you next week for
Yeah,
Poltergeist.
make sure you
Yeah.
watch Poltergeist before next week. If you have any corrections you want to give us, reach out to us on @Horror Virgin.
Yes. Also,
yeah.
I said Lee J. Cobb with Father Karras. He is not. He was Kinderman.
Right.
Father Karras was Jason Miller.
Yeah.
That's the only
Subs-
correction out of 7 pages that I wrote down that I feel like doing.
If you really, really like us, subscribe to us on iTunes, on our iTunes
Oh, yeah.
page, and we will be delivered to your box every week.
Ooh, that box.
Guys, this is fun.
So, yeah.
It was fun for us, at least.
It was
Us
something.
too. Yeah.
Do you guys have personal Twitters you want to plug?
No.
No.
Follow
It's
me
all
on
you.
Twitter @Todd J Awesome.
It's all
also @HorrorPod or @Horror Podcast. Fuck, Horror Virgin. What the fuck is the Twitter guy? I made it during the
have
podcast.
one
At
last
job.
time.
Horror Virgin.
One
It
job.
is 1000% @Horror Virgin.
Hey, and you can also go back to episode 1 and get confirmation of that if you can't find
It is. I just looked it up.
Oh, okay. So
I
never
have it on my
mind.
phone.
But
So
go listen to it again. That's fun.
if you want to tweet at me directly, it comes right to my phone.
Yeah.
Either Todd J Awesome or Horror Virgin.
All right, guys.
What is
I'm-
my life?
Aw.
This is my life.
I'm
All right.
Clint.
I'm Todd.
Jennifer.
See you next time.
Yep. See you next week.
Yeah.
I knew
Is
you
that
were
a
gonna-
thing we're gonna do every
I
time?
think
I like
it
that.
has
Let's
to be.
do it.
I think it
think
has
that
to
was
be.
my best.
Bye.